Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Toby Reed, Meredith Wilson, Sarah Berner, Gail Gordon, Frank Nelson, Will Wright, the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
As we look into the Burns home today, we find George and Gracie discussing a topic that is much too familiar to all of us, the high cost of living.
Oh, you'll be proud of me, George. I'm fighting the high cost of living tooth and nail.
Well, that's swell. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm smart. Before I buy anything, I ask the price. And if it's too high, I just refuse to pay the money.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, for a month now, I've charged everything.
But that's no advantage. The bills have to be paid.
Yes, but it still won't cost you any money.
Why not?
I pay them with a check.
This is murder.
Oh, I got the idea right out of my own mind. Simple, isn't it?
Simplest one on record. Let me see the bill.
Well, they're right here in my filing cabinet.
Oh, no, Gracie, not that filing system again. For 5 years now, I've tried to find things in that Chinese puzzle.
But, George, it's so easy. Everything is filed alphabetically. Now, which bill do you want first?
The grocery bill.
All right, look under T.
The grocery bill is under T.
Well, sure. We buy our groceries at Beasley's Market. His market is 2 blocks down the street. T for 2.
What if the market was 4 blocks down the street?
I'd file it in the same place. T for twice 2.
Okay. Well, here's the grocery bill. Holy smoke. Don't tell me eggs are this high.
They're like diamonds, George. Before long, hens won't lay them on the ground anymore. They'll go right to the bank and make their deposit.
How about the meat bill? Where do I find that?
Under C.
Meat bill is under C?
Yes. We buy our meat from the butcher. His name is Fleischenheimer. C for can't spell it.
Okay, here it is. Oh, no. Couldn't you find any cheap meat?
Well, I've tried, dear. See there on the bill. Ribs, 80 cents a pound. Shanks, 70 cents a pound. Oxtail, 60 cents a pound.
Is that the best you could do?
George, when you pass the tail, you're out in empty space.
Gracie, you're just using the high cost of living for an excuse. Things can't be this high.
But they are, dear.
I don't believe it. This morning, I'll do the shopping. And if they charge these prices, I'll eat my hat. I'll make up the shopping list. What are we having for dinner?
Boiled hat.
Let's go to the market.
Here's your hamburger, Mrs. Fowler. That'll be $7.80. Would you like that delivered?
No, thanks. I'll just put it in my purse.
Thanks. Call again. Can I wait on you, sir?
Yes, I'd like 3 pounds of sirloin steak.
3 pounds of sirloin steak.
Yes.
Tell me, are you a veteran?
No, why?
Well, I thought you could finance it on a GI loan.
Now, look here.
How about a nice soup bone of steer beef? You can swing that on our 30-day credit plan.
No, don't buy that, George. He's been selling me meat from that same steer for 2 years now. I even know the steer's name. Charles.
Charles?
Yes. Every time I ask for a roast, he says, I'll give you a piece of chuck.
Well, he's not giving me a piece of anything. We'll do without meat. Come on. You see, Gracie, the only way to bring prices down is to refuse to pay what they ask for things. Now, watch me. Mr. Beasley.
Oh, yes, Mr. Burns.
How much is canned tuna?
70 cents a can.
I won't pay it.
That's right. We'll plant our own tuna.
Oh, I get a kick out of your wife, Mr. Burns. She's so mentally adolescent.
Oh, careful with those compliments. My husband's here.
Let's get on with the shopping.
Yeah.
I'll take a pound of butter.
Yes, sir. That'll be $1.
$1? Don't you wear a mask instead of an apron? Come on, Gracie. Let's go to the vegetable department. Oh, cashier. How much is the sack of corn?
How many ears have you got?
2. Does he look like a freak?
Well, now that you mention it...
Never mind. I have 4 ears of corn.
Well, that'll be 10 cents each.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute, George. You don't like corn without butter.
Yeah, that's right. Better go back and buy a pound. You wait here. I changed my mind. I'll take a pound of that butter.
Yes, sir. That'll be $1.10.
$1.10? A minute ago it was $1.
Yes, there seems to be a gradual rise in prices.
I'll eat my corn without butter. Okay, miss. I'll take those 4 ears of corn.
Yes, sir. That'll be 15 cents each.
But you said they were 10 cents each.
Oh, that was before the last price change.
Oh, George, you better grab it before it goes up again.
Okay, here's your 60 cents.
George,
What?
you still don't like corn without butter.
I know. Well, come on, I'll buy a half a pound. Yeah, that's what I said, a half a pound of butter. How much is it now, $1.25?
No. 90 cents.
Well, you see, Gracie, I forced the price down.
That's 90 cents a half pound.
Well, charge it, Mr. Beasley. And would you please help me carry something out to the car?
The butter?
No, my husband, he just fainted.
In order to get his mind off the high cost of living, at least temporarily, Gracie coaxed George to the local movie to see a matinee of Life with Father. We find them now just leaving the theater.
Oh, wasn't that a wonderful picture, George? William Powell reminded me so much of my father.
Father must be quite a man.
He is. Proud, genteel, dignified, aristocratic. And the best delivery man at the fertilizer factory.
Father's a big man.
Right on top of the heap.
Yeah?
So many things in Life with Father reminded me of my own family. The oldest boy going off to Yale and the youngest...
Don't tell me anyone in your family went to Yale.
My brother Willie. And was Harvard jealous.
Harvard wanted one?
Oh, yes, but Yale wouldn't let him go. They said Harvard would just have to go on studying the theory of evolution from pictures.
Gracie, I don't want to hear any more about your family.
You're still worried about the high cost of living, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess I am.
You poor darling. If I could only make some money to help you. George, I've got an idea.
What is it?
I'll write a play about my family. It'll cost you about $5,000 to put it on, and it'll make millions.
No, Gracie.
But family plays are all the rage now. I Remember Mama, Life with Father, Mother Wore Tights.
Gracie, no.
Well, look, I can make mine a combination. I'll call it I Remember Mama's Life with Father in Tights.
No.
And I'll get William Powell to play Father. And you can be one of his sons.
Gracie, the idea is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You play the father and he'll be the son.
Forget the play. Every time you get one of those ideas, I get in trouble.
But I want to keep you from worrying about money. You're heading for a nervous breakdown, and I want to help you.
This will do it. Now, Gracie, I'm going to NBC, and remember, you're not going to do a play about your family.
Yes, dear.
Or any other play.
Yes, dear.
Absolutely no play.
No play.
No play.
Meredith, how do I go about putting on a play?
Well, first of all, you have to look around and find an angel.
In Hollywood?
Well, any place, just so he's wealthy. Now, Tommy Manville has been an angel several times.
Oh, he keeps slipping back, though, doesn't he?
Gracie, the term angel is applied to a man who finances a play.
Oh, well, how about you financing my play, Meredith?
Oh, I'd like to, but all my money's tied up.
It is?
Yes, I tied it up in my handkerchief, and I can't get the knot loose. But I could offer my services as an actor.
Oh, have you had any stage experience?
I was always prominent in the Mason City, Iowa Festival of Corn. I I once portrayed a bloodhound in Uncle Tom's cabin. I bounded across the stage, sniffing with my nose to the ground. But apparently the critic thought I had my nose in the air.
Oh, really?
Yes, he said I smelled to high heaven.
Well, Meredith, I think you're just right for my play.
I am?
Yeah, but first I've got to find a backer. Don't you know any rich man?
Well, now, let me see. I read in the morning paper that Mr. Judson, the Texas oil millionaire, is in town. He's staying at the Plaza Hotel.
Oh, he sounds like just the man. I'm sure I can get $5,000 from him.
Why are you putting on a play,
Well, to
Gracie?
help George meet expenses.
Oh.
The high cost of living has got him so worried, and I'm afraid he'll have a nervous collapse.
Oh, you're a true blue helpmate, Gracie. George is a lucky man. I hope when Bill Goodwin and I get married, we'll do as well.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure you and Bill will be very happy together. So, goodbye, Meredith.
Goodbye.
Are you Mr. Judson, the Texas oil millionaire?
Yep, that's me, ma'am.
Well, howdy, partner. I sure am all fired glad to meet a fellow Okie.
Okies are from Oklahoma, ma'am. I'm from Texas.
Oh. Well, I'm sure all fired glad to meet a fellow Texie. I'm Mrs. George Burns.
Proud to know you. What part of Texas you hail from?
San Francisco.
San Francisco's in California.
Oh, gosh, ain't Texas took that in yet?
Yeah, I like your spirit, ma'am. You talk like a real Texan.
Mighty glad you fell for it. I mean, think.
Yeah, I might have known a pretty little trick like you would be from Texas. Now, that's a healthy streak. Now, look at me. Would you take me for 45?
Well, I hope to take you for 5,000.
Huh?
I mean, I'd like you to invest some money in a play I've written.
Oh, I'm afraid I don't know nothing about show business, ma'am. I never seen no plays, never seen no movies, never even listened to the radio. Just stayed home and made $22 million.
Oh, you poor man.
Yeah, been sinking wells ever since I was a boy. When I was only 15, I brought in my first wildcat well.
You were smart to switch to oil. There's not much demand for wildcats.
I like your sense of humor, man. But I better stay out of this show business.
Oh, please, Mr. Judson. I'm going to do this play to help my husband. The poor man is practically out of his mind.
Why, you fine, sweet, brave little girl. Why didn't you tell me?
What?
You're doing this to help your mentally unbalanced husband.
Well, he isn't...
Oh, I know how you feel. You see, my wife ain't too bright.
Now, see here, Mr. Judson, my husband
Now,
is...
you don't have to say no more, Mrs. Burns. I can sure find $5,000 for a woman whose husband is, shall we say, peculiar.
Let's say he's nuts and make it 10,000.
That's the deal. I'll draw up a contract and then I'll telephone you.
Oh, thank you.
Not at all. By the way, where's your husband?
Well, he's at NBC.
NBC? Is that a mental institution?
Well, yes. Yeah, that's what it is. NBC, the National Booby Coop. Or, as some people call it, the Nutwork. Well, thanks again, Mr. Judson. Goodbye. Hello, dear. I see you beat me home.
Yeah. Just had a phone call, Gracie.
Oh?
A man wanted to speak to you.
Oh?
Said he was Mr. Judson, an oil millionaire.
Uh-oh.
Said you'd been to see him. What for?
Well, the car needed a quart of oil.
Gracie, he mentioned $10,000.
Yeah, that's why I didn't buy the quart of oil. I thought it was a little high.
Gracie, why did you go to see Mr. Judson?
Well, all right, George, I'll tell you.
Good. And don't give me another wild story. I want the truth.
Well, Mr. Judson thinks you're the world's greatest singer, and he'll give you $10,000 a week to advertise his oil company.
Gee, for a minute I thought you were coming up with a wild story. From time to time in every clime, blessings come from above. Do you think my voice will sell gasoline?
Oh, yes, darling. Everyone who hears you sing will take gas. Well, Bill, apparently you haven't heard George sing lately. Give him a sample, Sugar Throat. Unleash those atomic tonsils and spray us with that radioactive voice.
From time to time in every clime, blessings come from above.
Oh. When you listen to that man, it's hard to believe he's human.
Ain't easy when you look at him, either.
I mean, he doesn't sound like a man. When he sings, it's more like you've just heard a big bird.
If he sings again, you'll hear the biggest bird.
Never mind, critic. Just wait till I get my own program for Judson's oil.
Yes. Now, George, you run, hop in the bathtub, and vocalize. I want to talk to Bill.
Okay. To summer name, I love the spring. I love is a lucky
Oh, Bill. You almost ruined things.
How?
Well, Mr. Judson isn't going to sponsor George's singing.
He sounds like a sensible man.
Actually, he thinks George is a lunatic, and he thinks NBC is the national booby coop.
Like I said before, he sounds like a sensible man.
But don't tell George. He doesn't know what I'm up to.
Say, Gracie, I'm single, but I thought wives never did anything without their husband's permission.
You are single, aren't you? Come on, Bill. Drop me at the beauty shop.
Okay.
Yes?
Howdy. I'm Mr. Judson. I've come to have Mrs. Burns sign this contract.
Oh, well, I'm the one you want to see. I'm Mr. Burns.
You're her husband?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll be moseying along.
No. I want to talk to you. Sit down.
Sure. Anything you say. I thought they kept you at NBC.
Yeah, well, they do most of the time. But now and then I sneak away.
Ain't it a hard place to get in and out of?
No. I can get you in if you want me to.
No, I ain't ready for that yet. Don't NBC have any guards?
Yeah. But in Hollywood, it's hard to tell who belongs in there and who doesn't.
Yeah, reckon it is. Could anybody come in to see you, Mr. Burns?
Oh, no. See me, you got to have a ticket.
Oh, you're one of the biggest ones there, huh?
You bet I am. Of course, now and then I lay an egg.
I'd sure admire to see that. Mr. Burns, what did you do that got you put in there?
I'll show you. Boom, 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 down in the garden where the red rose goes. I love you so, and love me like a flower. And don't you dare to holler. Lord, the red rose, oh, the red rose rag. Boom, boom. That's what did it.
And well it might.
Thanks, I'll sign that contract now. Give me your pen.
No, please, I'd rather you didn't handle anything sharp.
Huh?
Besides, it's your wife's play I'm backing. Now let her sign it.
My wife's play, huh?
Yeah, and she's going to use the money to cure your insanity.
She told you, just wait till Gracie gets home. Trying to put on a play after I told you not to. Telling Mr. Judson that I'm a lunatic. I'm warning you, Gracie. I've had all I can stand.
Well, I don't blame you, George. I'm just a no-good, trouble-making woman who does nothing but hinder you. You ought to get yourself a new wife. Huh?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, yes, you should. Nothing but a millstone around your neck, and you ought to send me back to my mother. Huh?
No, I wouldn't do that.
But I deserve it. I'm just a silly, thoughtless woman without a brain in my head. Huh?
That you are.
Let's go back to the second one. You ought to send me back to my mother. Huh?
Well, come to think of it, it's not a bad idea.
Let's go back to the
Oh,
first
never
one.
mind. But you do deserve to be punished. Now, how do you think I should punish you?
Oh, I've got a terrible punishment. No new clothes for the rest of the year.
Okay, that's it.
I'll just force myself to look at you wearing your old clothes.
Look, Gracie, I let you off with no punishment. If you'll promise me that you'll never cook up another one of your wild schemes.
Yeah, I promise, but I don't want you to let me off so easy. I want to do something to make up for the trouble I've caused you.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I've got it. I'll get William Powell to star in my play and give you all the money.
Now, look, Gracie.
And I know just how to get him.
Look, Gracie.
I'll tell him that you're a lunatic.
Look, Gracie.
And it costs me lots of money to keep you in the
Look,
booby
Gracie,
coop. And then
if
he'll
you're
fall
gonna
for it, and then I'm going to get the money. George, I just called William Powell and told him he was going to be in my play.
What'd he say?
Oh, Gad!
Hi, gang. Let's meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie.
Burns home, and as George sits down to breakfast, he is greeted by some wonderful news from Gracie.
Eat all the bacon you want, George. Our meat shortage is over.
How come?
Well, I just got a letter from Cousin Nellie on the farm. They're sending us a hog.
I don't believe it. That's the same Cousin Ellie who said she was knitting me a white sweater, but I never got it.
Well, Grandpa wouldn't let her send it.
Why not?
Well, you know how nearsighted Nellie is. Grandpa was dozing while she worked on the white sweater, and she knitted his beard into it.
I see.
Mama says he's very attached to it.
Probably never see the hog either.
Oh, yes, you will. Here, I'll read you the letter from Nellie. Dear Cousin Gracie, I will make this short as we are very busy butchering all the hogs right now. That is all but Nellie and Francis.
They're hogs? I thought your cousins were named Nellie and Francis.
Well, Uncle John always gives his hogs the same names as his children.
Well, isn't that confusing?
Well, certainly not. Once you get to know them, you can tell them apart easily.
I guess so.
Yeah, I'll read on. Last night, Francis had 12 little ones with the cutest curly tails. Well, you see, now that couldn't be my cousin. She's not married.
No comment. Read on.
Mama told Papa to make some brine and get the pig's feet pickled. But Papa thought she said wine and got pickled first.
Get to the part where they give us the hog.
All right, here it is. We are sending you Henry. Henry is the biggest boar in Jackson County.
Boar?
Yes. I called Meredith Wilson, who used to live on a farm, and he said a boar is a lady pig's husband.
Oh, I see. Henry is probably the father of those 12 little ones.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, where was that? Oh, yes. Henry should arrive there Thursday at the latest.
Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
That's today. I better go out and rent a freezing locker.
Come in.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Meredith.
Hi, Mayor.
Say, Gracie, why did you phone and ask me all those questions about pigs?
Oh, George and I are going to have one.
Well, congratulations, George.
Her cousin is sending us one to eat.
Oh, I see.
Going to eat one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It'll probably be a little shoat.
Well, who cares if it's short as long as it's fat?
It's not a shoat, Meredith. We're getting a boar.
Oh. Well, if I may offer a little advice, a boar is not as tender as a hog of the opposite, if you'll pardon the expression, sex. When we had a boar, we always barbecued it.
Say, that's an idea. We could have a big crowd over and barbecue Henry in the backyard.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. How do you barbecue a boar, Meredith?
Well, first you hit him over the head with a mallet. Then you scald him with boiling water and put a metal rod through him and suspend him over a bed of hot coals.
My.
And then you put an apple in his mouth.
Well, isn't that a little late to try making friends with him?
Don't bother explaining it, Meredith.
Well, by the way, Gracie, I'd be glad to make the barbecue sauce for you.
Oh, thank you, Meredith. Where did you learn so much about cooking?
Well, my folks had one of those little combination gas stations and cafes. We lost money, though.
How come?
I never could figure why. I painted a huge sign which should have attracted customers. It said, eat here and get gas.
Meredith, business was bad because of that sign you painted.
Yes, it should have been neon.
Yeah, that's what I meant. People didn't know the place was open at night.
Exactly.
Yes.
Tell your folks to put up a neon sign that says, eat here and get gas all night.
You two should be in business together. Goodbye, Meredith.
Goodbye, all. See you at the barbecue.
See you at the barbecue.
Oh, look, George, here comes my Texas friend, Mr. Judson. We'll invite him to our barbecue.
Okay. Gee, to look at that cowboy, you'd never think he had $23 million.
Come in.
Howdy, little lady.
Oh, hello, Mr. Judson.
Howdy, little man.
Hi.
Well, I'm glad you dropped in, Mr. Judson. We're having a barbecue tonight, and you're invited.
Well, I thank you kindly. I ain't been to a barbecue since I left Texas and come to the territories.
Did you have lots of barbecues down there?
Yep. Just before I left, we had a fine one. Barbecued 5,000 pounds of pork.
Goodness. How many pigs did you cook?
Just one.
You trying to tell me that Texas pigs weigh 5,000 pounds?
Only when they're the runt of the litter. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I had one he-hog that was pretty good size. In fact, I had to keep him penned up when the circus come to town.
Why?
He kept flirting with the lady elephants.
Really,
Pardon me, boys. I'll see who's on the phone.
Judson, you must be the richest guy in Texas.
Oh, shucks, no. Down there, I'm what we call fixed, comfortable. Just pegging along with my $24 million.
Last time I saw you, it was $23 million.
Yeah. Well, last week, my youngest boy was playing mumbly peg. The knife stuck into the ground a mite deeper than usual, and up come another darned oil well.
See, that's a shame.
Say, when we have a barbecue in Texas, we celebrate high, wide, and handsome. Do you mind if I bring my .45 along and do a little sociable shooting?
No, not if you watch where you shoot.
Oh, I'll just fire up in the air. I wouldn't waste a Texas bullet on you aliens.
Okay, bring the gun.
Yeah, well, I'll be moseying along.
George, that was Blanche Martin. Oh, are you leaving, Mr. Judson?
Yep, to get ready for your barbecue, little lady. Your husband says I can bring my old .45 along.
Well, of course, we want to meet you, wife.
Oh, I like your sense of humor, ma'am. I'll be seeing you.
George, I've made out a list of the people to invite to our barbecue, and it comes to 47.
47?
Mm-hmm.
Hope we'll have enough pork to go around.
Oh, I'm sure we will. After all, the letter says that Henry is the biggest boar in Jackson County. And I've only invited our closest friends. There'll be the 8 girls from the Beverly Hills Uplift Society and their 9 husbands. And then there'll
Wait
be...
a minute. The 8 girls have 9 husbands?
Well, no, not actually. You see, Blanche Morton's son is 21 now, and it would embarrass her to admit that she has a grown son, so she tells people she has 2 husbands.
And that saves embarrassment.
Yes. And then there'll be Mr. Judson and his wife, and Dr. Miller and his wife, and Meredith Wilson and the woman he's engaged to.
Meredith is engaged?
Yes. Oh, he's such a gentleman. He was walking behind this perfectly strange woman, and suddenly she turned around.
So?
Their noses bumped, and he thinks he ought to marry her.
What a schmo.
And then I'm asking Bill Goodwin, of course, and that'll mean 15 more people.
15?
Well, he'll bring the women he's engaged to.
God, yeah.
Yeah, and then, of course, I'm inviting Cary Grant.
I don't think he'll show up.
Why not? He's going to be on our radio program next week, and we can talk about it.
Gracie, you upset Cary Grant. You always do something to him.
You know what?
What?
He does something to me, too. Well, that's my list. Now, you run next door and invite Dr. Miller and his wife, and I'll go buy the trimmings for the barbecue.
Be sure to get some charcoal.
What for?
So we can have a charcoal barbecue.
Oh. Well, all right. I'll get some charcoal for you, but the rest of us will eat pork.
I know you psychiatrists keep pretty busy, Dr. Miller, but Gracie and I hope you'll take time off and bring your wife to our barbecue.
Oh, I'd be delighted. May we bring the children?
Sure. I didn't know you had children.
Oh, yes. Thomas, aged 8, and Linda, aged 10. They're at school now.
Bet they're a cute pair of kids.
Well, in the parlance of my profession, I'd describe them as possessing a normal adolescent behavioristic pattern combined with pronounced extroversion and complete immunity to parental stimuli.
What does that mean in plain language?
They're little stinkers.
You're joking.
Unfortunately, I'm not. Did many children come to your door on Halloween and say, trick or treat?
Yes.
Mine were the ones who said, money or murder.
Someone with the curve.
Which reminds me, Mr. Burns, does living next door to a psychiatrist worry you?
No. Oh, why should it?
Well, suppose one of my patients wandered into your house by mistake. You wouldn't know how to handle a person with peculiar mental Forgive me, I forgot about your wife.
That's okay. Well, now I've got to run down to the depot and see if our pig has arrived from the farm. See you at the barbecue.
Yes?
How do you do?
How do you do?
I'm Henry.
That's nice.
I finally got here.
So I see.
Isn't anybody gonna kiss me?
Kiss you?
This is the right house, isn't it?
Obviously. Come in and lie down on the couch.
Oh, thank you.
That's fine. Put your suitcase right down there. That's it. Now, suppose you tell me your full name, who sent you, and why you're here.
Well, my name is Henry Allen, and my folks sent me because I'm the biggest boy in Jackson County.
Well, I'm sure we can straighten you out, Henry.
They want me to stay with you and Cousin Gracie as long as you'll have me.
Cousin Grace? Oh, you're looking for Mrs. Burns.
Yes, sir. We're from the same family.
Stupid of me not to guess it. I thought you were a patient. Gracie lives next door. I don't think they're home right now, but you go on over and you make yourself comfortable.
Oh, thank you. And, I'm sorry I'm not a patient.
That's all right. I have a feeling you will be.
And so it happened that when George arrived home, he saw a strange man sitting in the living room.
Must be someone Gracie invited to the barbecue. Hello.
How do you do? Did I come to the right house?
Yeah, this is it.
Well, isn't anybody gonna kiss me?
Now, we're just having a barbecue.
I brought you a big jar of watermelon rind preserves.
Oh, you didn't have to do that.
Oh, yes, I did. Mama made me.
Well, where is it?
I got hungry and ate it on the way.
Thanks.
I didn't intend to, see, but I dropped my suitcase and the jar broke and the preserves ran all over my clean socks.
Then how did you eat it?
It wasn't easy. I still got some yarn stuck in my teeth.
You ate your socks?
Well, I didn't want to let the preserves go to waste.
Look, I gotta dig a barbecue pit in the backyard. Gracie will be home pretty soon.
Oh, thank you.
Gracie and her crazy friend.
Hello.
How you doing? Are you Gracie?
Yes.
I'm your cousin Henry.
Not little Henry Allen from back on the farm.
Yeah. Isn't anybody gonna kiss me?
Well, of course.
Gee, I'm glad the other two turned me down.
Well, I suppose you left the pig at a crate down at the station.
The pig?
Yeah, but we can talk about him later. Let me look at you. Little Henry Allen. Well, we haven't seen each other since we were in diapers.
Yeah. You look different now.
Well, I dress more conservatively.
Yeah. Gee, just think, the last time we were together, we were both 2 years old. Now I'm almost 30.
Yeah, and I'm almost 18.
I guess time drags here in the city.
How's everyone on the farm?
Oh, fine. Grandpa said to thank you for sending him that money to buy glasses.
Uh-huh. Well, Grandpa needed glasses. A man his age shouldn't drink out of a bottle. Well, let's get down to the station and get that pig you brought.
I didn't bring any pig.
But Cousin Ellie said that they were setting the biggest boar in Jackson County.
That's me.
Oh, Henry. Oh, this is terrible. We're planning a barbecue. 47 people are going to drop over.
47?
Yeah, make it 48. When George hears about this, he'll drop over, too.
Well, poor George is all unaware that the Henry he's been waiting to barbecue turned out to be Gracie's cousin. So he's in the backyard now, busily digging a barbecue pit.
Hi, George.
Oh, hello, Bill.
What are you digging the hole for?
Bill, into this hole, as you call it, is going the biggest boar you ever saw.
Oh, George, don't do it. We love you.
Relax. That boar that's going in there is the kind that just eats, sleeps, and grunts.
George, don't do it. We love you.
Look, comedian, the hole is not for me. Gracie's relatives are sending us a pig from the farm, and we're going to have a barbecue. You're invited along with your fiancés.
Oh, all of them?
15.
I gotta leave 6 at home?
Now, do me a favor and ask Gracie if she's got everything ready for the barbecue.
Oh, okay, George.
And, Bill, have you got a gun I can borrow?
What for?
To shoot the boar.
George, don't do it. We love you.
Everything is not ready for the barbecue. My relatives made a terrible mistake.
Well, what, Gracie?
Well, they sent my cousin Henry here instead of a pig.
How you doing?
Gee, Gracie, that's a mistake anybody could make.
How you doing?
Oh, Bill, if George finds out, he'll throw a fit.
Well, you just have to drive out to the country and get a pig.
Well, there isn't time. Oh, dear, what... Oh, I've got it. I'll build one.
You'll build a pig?
How you do?
Well, certainly. I'll go to the butcher shop and I'll get the parts and put them together.
Oh, Gracie, how do you dope out these ideas?
With my brain, it's easy. Nobody's got a dopier brain than I have.
How you do?
Well, Henry, here are all the parts the butcher sold me. Now, let's hurry up and build this pig before George comes in the house. What do we start with?
Well, we better start with the feet.
All right. I'll put the pig's feet right here on the floor.
No, they don't look right.
No, they don't. Would it help if we took them out of the jar?
Yeah, it might.
Now, here are 4 hams for the legs. What comes next?
The sides.
Oh, well, here they are. The butcher only had one side of pork, so I bought that and one side of mutton.
Won't that be noticeable?
No. We'll tell George that this pig is pork on his father's side and mutton on his mother's side.
What an idea.
And what comes next?
The head.
Oh, well, I couldn't get a head, so we'll take this cantaloupe and put a pair of glasses on it.
Well, can't your husband tell a cantaloupe from a pig's head?
Not if we use his glasses. Now, where will we put these sausages? Oh, I know. We'll hang them on the head for curls. There.
Cousin Gracie, I've called a lot of pigs, but nothing like this ever answered.
No, we're not finished yet. Now, let's see. We'll take the pork chops and put them here and hang the bacon from his ribs, and then we'll put
Well, Gracie, I finished digging the barbecue. What is that?
That's our pig.
What happened to it?
Oh, well, the poor thing was walking here from the station, and it tried to cross Hollywood Boulevard.
Holy smoke. Henry is the worst-looking mess I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what everybody says about me.
You? Who are you?
I'm Henry.
But you can't be Henry. They said he was the biggest bore in Jackson County.
You haven't known me very long.
Gracie, is he what they sent us from the farm?
Yes, George. He's my cousin once removed. And I think it'll be soon he'll be twice removed.
You're not kidding. Henry.
Yes, sir?
Stick this apple in your mouth and follow me to the barbecue pit.
George, don't you dare!
Hi, gang. Let's meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie.
As we look in at the Burns home today, we find Gracie talking to her friend and fellow clubwoman, Blanche Morton.
Spread the news, Blanche. There'll be a meeting of the Beverly Hills Uplift Society at 2 o'clock. And our guest speaker will be Cary Grant.
Cary Grant?
Yeah.
Oh, that big, handsome Englishman.
Oh, you said it. Of course, I wouldn't trade my George for Cary Grant.
Oh, I wouldn't trade my Harry either.
Now, our husbands may not have his looks, but they've got other qualities that he hasn't got.
You bet. Plenty of them.
Dozens.
Hundreds.
Thousands. Wish I could think of one.
Me too. That Grant's got everything.
Oh, yes. The way his eyes twinkle when he looks at you.
Yeah. Do George's eyes twinkle?
Only when the light hits his bifocal.
Get busy and tell the girls about the meeting. By the way, Gracie, will George let us meet you?
No, he won't. I'll have to trick him into leaving the house. I know. I'll tell him to go play golf.
Well, won't he get suspicious?
No, I'll be very subtle about it. I'll sneak into the subject of golf very gradually. Now, you have to. Oh, hello, dear.
Hello.
Oh, my, that's a beautiful necktie you're wearing.
Oh, thank you.
Now, go play golf.
Play golf?
Yes, you're awfully good at it.
Well, I have been playing pretty hot golf lately. Yesterday, I won a match from Jack Benny.
Oh, I'm surprised you get that much.
A golf match.
Oh.
Jack is a pretty good golfer. Gets around in the middle 70s.
Mm-hmm. I knew he wasn't any 38.
You don't understand. Pa is 76.
Older than Betty, huh?
Yes, about 2 years older. Let's skip the whole thing.
But, George, you can't stay here.
Gracie, are you trying to get me out of the house?
Me? trying to get you out of the house. Here's your hat.
I thought so. I'll bet you're cooking up a meeting of the Beverly Hills Uplift Society.
Well, now...
I knew it. Well, Halloween is over. They can park their brooms someplace else.
But, George, we've got a wonderful meeting arranged. I'm going right over now to get Cary Grant to be our guest speaker.
Oh, no, you're not. You bothered Cary Grant for the last time.
Oh, George, stop trying to act like a husband.
Gracie, I hate to do this, but the time has come for me to use force.
Force?
Yes. I'm going to lock you in this closet until you come to your senses.
George, let go of my arm.
Here, there's no use struggling. No use struggling.
George.
In the closet you go. Let me out. Let me out.
Yes? Oh, it's you, Gracie.
Oh, yes. Hello, Mr. Grant.
I wish you'd telephoned before you came, Gracie. I'm very sorry for my appearance.
Your appearance?
Yeah, if I'd known you were coming, I wouldn't have made one.
Well, don't apologize, Cary. I've paid you so many visits, you're getting to be an old friend.
Mm-hmm. And getting older with every visit.
Well, I'm here to ask you something. Shall I get right to the point?
Yes, plunge it in.
I want you to make a talk before my club, the Beverly Hills Uplift Society.
Oh, no. Please, Gracie, not your club again.
Well, there's nothing to be frightened about. You've seen the Uplifters. They're just women.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Then you'll do it?
No, really, Gracie, I'm very bad at making speeches. Why don't you get Georgie Jessel?
Georgie Jessel?
Oh, yeah, he'll get a lot of laughs.
Well, if the girls want to laugh, they can go home and look at their husbands.
Well, honestly, Gracie, I wouldn't know what to say.
Well, you don't have to. I've written your speech out for you. Now, here, read it.
Oh, all right. Madam President, beautiful, ravishing, adorable ladies of the Uplift Society.
Yeah, now, there'll be a slight pause there while I restore order. Read on.
The title of my speech today is Women, Are They Here to Stay?
Catchy little title, huh? Well, read on.
Thanks. Yes, women are here to stay. Statistics prove that of all the mothers in the world, approximately 100% are women. No other sex can make that statement.
It makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
That it does.
Well, read on.
Women come in 4 sizes. Thin, medium, plump, and get a load of her.
Mr. Grant, when you say that, look right at Mrs. Sims. She's sprung every sofa in Beverly Hills. Read on.
The aim of every woman should be to marry someone intelligent and attractive. But this is extremely difficult since they have only men to pick from.
Nothing personal there, Mr. Grant. Well, read on.
However, once the woman is married, she obeys her husband's every wish, does not squander his money, and never argues with him.
You thought Jessel would get laughed. Read on.
Men claim that women have no place in business. But how about that brilliant woman who went to the very top in the liquor business? Mary, Queen of Scots.
It's filled with dynamite like that. Well, read on.
Gracie, look, I can't deliver this speech. I'd feel self-conscious.
Oh, afraid they find out you didn't write it, huh?
Yeah, that's what I meant. But there's another reason. I've got to leave town right away.
Oh, where are you going?
Any place. I mean, England. Yes, that's it. I'm going to make a picture for Sir Alexander Corder.
Who's he?
Mr. Corder and J. Arthur Rank are the 2 big picture producers of England.
Oh, do you know Mr. Corder?
Very well.
How about Mr. Rank?
I've never met him.
I see. Oh, wait here. Wait here, Mr. Grant. Will you do it, Meredith?
Why, certainly, Gracie. As a loyal member of the Uplift Society, I'll do anything you say.
Oh, good. Now, here's Cary Grant's house. Now, have you got everything straight?
Yes. I'm J. Arthur Rank, the English movie producer.
Yes.
And I'm to keep Cary Grant from going to England.
Right. I'll hide back here and listen.
Yes? Fruit, old Pip.
I beg your pardon. I jolly well came over to say that I bought your blooming old contract from beastly old Alexander Corda. So your trip to blinking old England is ripping well off.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
I'm Rank.
I know, but who are you?
Well, I'm J. Arthur Rank, the movie magnate. You work for me now.
I do?
Quite. Congratulations and all that sort of rottenness.
I've met you someplace. Isn't your name William?
No. Wilson.
Maurice Wilson.
No. Meredith Wilson.
That's right. Well, it's nice to meet you again.
Thank you. Same here. Well, as I was saying, my name is J. Arthur Rank. Yes, old beast?
You are not J. Arthur Rank. You're Meredith Wilson.
Darn it, there's been a leak.
Now run along and tell Gracie that her plan didn't work.
Very well. Goodbye.
Fruit, old Pip.
Don't close the door, Mr. Grant. I've got another idea.
Oh, no. Meantime, George has freed himself from the closet where Gracie locked him and has gone next door to consult with Dr. Miller, the psychiatrist.
But Doctor, I tell you, I'm worried. Gracie and those uplifters will drive Cary Grant nuts.
Oh, tut. Mr. Grant probably found your wife's visit merely amusing. By now he's forgotten the whole incident. Come in. Doctor, you've got to help me. Gracie Allen and the uplifters are after me. They're driving me crazy.
Wrong, wasn't I?
I can't stand it any longer. Everywhere I look, I see little pink Gracie Allen. There's a green one. My mistake. That's her husband. Hello, George.
Hello, Cary. I was just telling the doctor about the uplifters.
Yes, and I think I can remove your uplifter fixation rather easily. You do? Certainly. You've come to regard them as monsters. Actually, they're harmless housewives. You'd lose your fear if you were able to observe them in their proper setting. Well, how could we get them into a cage? I'd better have a look at these women. Mr. Burns, is there a place in your house where we could spy on them without being seen?
Yes. We could sneak into my den and listen through the door.
Good. That'll give me a chance to put them under observation. Come along, gentlemen. George, how close will we be to the uplifters?
About 10 feet.
Did anyone see us come into your den, George?
No, we're okay. Nobody's here yet but Gracie and Blanche Morton. They're waiting for the others to arrive.
Good. Now, gentlemen, we can observe the girls as they really are. And you'll see that the uplifters are just normal, friendly women who have formed this club because they respect and admire one another. I'll open the door a crack.
Blanche, I can't wait to see what that skinny Clara Bagley will wear today.
Well, I told old Bones that Cary Grant would be here, so she'll come dressed to the teeth.
Oh, good. The more Clara covers up, the better.
You said it. What a zombie Clara is. A real scarecrow.
Come in.
Hello, girls. Why, Clara, how lovely you look.
Close the door, Doctor.
Just normal, friendly women who respect and admire one another. Well, I'm sure that wasn't typical. I'll open the door again.
Will Pauline Sims be here today? I don't know. The old bat's gotten so stuck up since she married a young husband half her age.
Say, did you hear the wonderful thing his mother said after the wedding?
No, what was it?
Well, she said, I don't feel that I've lost a son. I feel that I've gained a grandmother.
She's not kidding. Pauline's as old as the hills and darn near as broad.
Well, she tries to keep up appearances. She just had her face lifted again, you know.
Not again? Mm-hmm. Why, during the war, Pauline was the only person who could spot airplanes without looking up. How can her husband stand a fat pump like Pauline?
Come in.
Hello, girl.
Why, Pauline, how lovely you look.
Close the door, Doctor.
Oh, yes, they really love one another. I must admit, I didn't expect this. There must be some explanation for their conduct. Maybe they've been eating too much catnip. Let's listen again. Perhaps their conversation will give me a psychological clue.
Another new bracelet, Gracie?
How do you get so many presents from George?
Well, he's kind of absent-minded about dates. So far this year, I've had 7 wedding anniversaries, 5 birthdays, and 2 Easters.
Well, I control the money now, but it was different with my first husband. He was an old sea captain and very stingy.
Well, how did you get what you needed?
I used to steal his wooden leg and sell it back to him.
Close the door, Diane. Gentlemen, I have a clue. Those women are not to blame for their conduct. Not to blame? No. Speaking as a psychiatrist, I would define the source of their behavior as an accumulation of deeply rooted, hyper-egoistic complexes stemming from the pusillanimous nature of their associative environment. What does that mean? They're married to jerks. Thanks. But, Doctor, Gracie belongs and she's married to... Yeah, I see what you mean. Believe me, gentlemen, no woman with an intelligent husband would join that club. Open the door again. This is fascinating.
Girls, here comes our new member. She's going to join the club today.
Gracie, does she sit in?
Oh, she's a born uplifter. Wait till I tell you how she gets new clothes from her husband. How? Well, she told her husband that their children are taking music lessons. And now every week he makes out a check for a violin teacher named Sax and a piano teacher named Bullock. Oh, here she is, girls. Come in, Gladys. Hello.
Close the door. And bring me a triple shot of bourbon. What's the matter? Gladys is my wife. Oh, no. Gentlemen, you were right. This club is a menace and must be eliminated. Mr. Grant, so they won't become suspicious. You go into the meeting and make your speech while I formulate a plan. Okay. I'll open the door and see if they've started yet. Oh, no! I can't go in there. I'm too young to die. Howard. Hi, George. What's doing? Oh, hello, Bill. Dr. Miller and I are trying to get Cary Grant to go into the uplifted meeting. But he's afraid. Cary, what are you, a man or a mouse? To you, I'm a man. To that bunch of cats, I'd be a mouse. Ah, there's nothing to be afraid of. Follow me. Shake hands, Brother Rat. Mr. Grant, if we're to break up this club, you must go in there while I determine a course of action. Oh.
Quiet, girls. Quiet. Girls, our guest of honor has arrived. Mr. Cary Grant.
And he got that with his back to him.
Well, now, let's welcome Mr. Grant. Let's welcome Mr. Grant with a couple of rousing hip-hips. All together now. Hip-hip, hooray! Hip-hip, hooray! And now how about giving my husband a couple of big hits?
Nature beat us to it.
You should talk.
Order, please, order. Mr. Grant, we're all thrilled to have you here.
Oh, we certainly are. This is the moment of a lifetime. Oh, we girls are so excited.
Yes, every one of us. How did J. Arthur Rand get in here? She's an honorary woman.
Mr. Grant will speak to us on the subject, women. Are they here to stay? Go ahead, Mr. Grant.
Madam President, beautiful, ravishing, adorable ladies of the Uplift Society. What happened after Mr. Grant made his speech? All the girls lined up and kissed him. Poor Cary. Yes. Try slapping him with that wet towel again. Maybe that'll bring him to. Gee, the kisses are getting better. He's awake.
Mr. Grant, your sacrifice was not in vain. I have a plan. I know how to put an end to the uplift.
So do I. We'll be spending the rest of our lives in jail.
My plan involves no violence. We will show Gracie how ridiculous her club is by forming one of our own and acting just as those women.
You mean we'll be catting and say terrible things about each other's looks?
Exactly.
Oh, gee, that's not fair to you guys. I can say plenty about you, but what can you say about me?
You'll force ourselves. When Gracie observes our disgusting behavior and realizes that it parallels that of her own club, she'll be ashamed and disband the uplift.
What psychology?
You're terrific, Doctor.
Sensational idea.
All right. Nothing Freud couldn't have thought of. Take your gift in.
Oh, Gracie, just leave the chairs here in the living room. My club is meeting in a few minutes.
Your club?
Yes, we fellows have organized a club exactly like the one you women have.
Oh, how wonderful. But I'd better take down our coat of arms. It wouldn't be appropriate for men. See, it's 2 lipsticks crossed on a field of girdles.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't do for us men.
No. You'd have to have 2 cigars crossed on a field of girdles.
Yeah, that's what I had in mind. Come in. Hi, George.
Hello, George.
Oh, come in, Bill, Dr. Miller. Cary Grant isn't here yet.
Oh.
Well, I hope old Baggy Pants wears some decent clothes today.
He usually looks like something the cat dragged in, slept on, and dragged out again.
Well, he must buy some new clothes. I heard that he sent all his old clothes to England.
Oh, he does. Then his mother washes them and sends them back. Tell me, how old is Grant?
Huh? I'm not sure, but when he first came to Hollywood, there was nothing here but palm trees and Wallace Berry.
Oh, what a mess that Cary Grant is. Yeah, real dog.
Yeah. Come in.
Hello, fellas.
Why, Cary, how wonderful you are. Come in.
Somehow this all sounds very familiar to me.
Yes, it's just like your club, Mrs. Burns. Where shall I hang my hat? Hang up that old relic, throw it in the trash where it belongs. Old relic? This is Adam's best hat. How did you get it? Did Eve make him throw it away?
Now, fellas, you're acting just like Gracie's club.
Wait a minute. You're a fine one to talk about hats, Goodwin. All you ever wear on your head is curlers. I do not wear curlers. This is a Tony Cold way. Well, it looks like Tony is still in it.
Boys, act your age.
At his age, you can act. Look, Wavy Wig, I can take you any day of the week. Listen, Grant, just because you took Richmond doesn't mean you can take me.
You better get out of this club.
What?
Well, if you could say things like that about Cary Grant, we'd get started on you.
You still think you could take me, bit player? Why, I'd tear your hair out if I wasn't afraid of getting peroxide on my hands. You're just jealous because I'm doing so well in pictures. You ought to do well. You've got the best cameraman, the best electrician, and the best bricklayer. Bricklayer? Yes, they put your makeup on with a trowel.
Fellas, please. Fellas.
Well, I've heard enough. I'm going right out and disband the Beverly Hills Uplift Society.
You see, gentlemen, 5 collars. You're really breaking up your club, huh, Gracie?
Absolutely. You men have so much more fun. You girls are all going to join your club.
Oh, no.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. Yours truly, Toby Reed, Verna Felton, Gail Gordon, Hans Conried, Meredith Wilson, the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
Well, the subject of discussion in millions of homes today was the wedding of Princess Elizabeth and Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten. And in the Burns home, Gracie was saying to George,
George, don't you wish we had been in England for Elizabeth and Philip's wedding?
Yeah, that must have been quite a sight.
Oh, I was just reading here in the paper about their wedding cake. It weighed 500 pounds.
500 pounds? Mm-hmm. It's almost as heavy as the first biscuits you made.
You were pretty sentimental about my biscuits at the time, George. You even kept one and had it bronzed like a baby shoe.
I didn't have it bronzed. That's the way you baked it.
Well, let's get back...
I'm using it for a doorstop.
Well...
Sentiment, you know.
Yes. Well, George, let's get back to Princess Elizabeth's wedding. There's one thing I don't understand. If she becomes queen someday, will Philip be the king?
No. He'll be the consort, like Queen Victoria had.
Queen Victoria?
Yeah. She's the one who was so crazy about Prince Albert.
Oh, smoked a pipe, huh?
Only at the opera. Prince Albert was her consort.
Her consort?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, a consort just stays in the background and lets his wife do most of the work.
Oh, gee, all these years I've had a consort and didn't know it.
Thanks, Queenie.
But I love my little consort, and I've got a wonderful idea.
What is it?
Well, they're going to rebroadcast the royal wedding tonight, so let's cuddle up in front of the fireplace and listen to it. It'll be so romantic.
Oh, honey, I'd have to chop wood for the fireplace.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. Who needs a fire in the fireplace when I'm sitting with volcano lips?
That's me?
Well, sure. Your kisses would keep me warm. How about a few degrees out of count right now?
Okay.
Better chop some wood, George.
Yeah. I thought so. Come in.
Hi, Burns.
Oh, hello, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Oh, say, George, the fellas have got a big poker game on for tonight. How about joining us?
Swell. Count me in.
Oh, but, Bill, I want George to stay home tonight and listen to the wedding. I want to turn the lights down low and pretend that he's my Prince Charming.
Oh, believe me, Gracie, no lights can be turned that low.
Please, Bill, don't take him away. Why don't you give up the poker game and listen to the wedding, too?
No, Gracie. Weddings are so sad. Every time I go to one, the bride weeps and moans and tears her hair and screams in agony.
The bride does that?
Well, yes, she looks at me and sees what she's missed.
Plenty nerve.
But, Bill, it'll be a thrilling ceremony to listen to. Mr. Mountbatten will give the princess the ring, and she'll give him the $2 for the license, and then they'll...
Gracie, she'll give him $2 for the license?
Yeah, well, isn't that part of every wedding ceremony?
No.
George Burns.
The custom has changed.
Well, how about it, George? You going to play poker or listen to the wedding?
Play poker.
Well, that makes 5. Besides you and me, there'll be Dr. Miller, the psychiatrist, Mr. Judson, the Texan, and Meredith Wilson, the schmo.
Sounds great.
Oh, sure. The host is going to fix up a big spread. Cold turkey, ham sandwiches, roast beef, pie, cake, coffee.
Wow. Who's going to be the host?
You. See you about 9.
George, won't you change your mind and listen to the wedding with me?
No, thanks.
But it would be so much fun. We could sort of pretend that we were Philip and Elizabeth. I could even get out my wedding dress and wear it.
You mean that thing your mother made?
Uh-huh.
It was so tight around the ankles you could hardly walk.
Well, that was Mama's idea. She said at the last minute I might trip, fall on my head, and come to my senses.
Dear old Mama. She really thinks I'm a dog, eh?
Oh, no, George. Mama thinks you're handsome. But she says you look just like a beautiful statue.
Your mother said that?
Mm-hmm. You know that statue in the park of the general sitting on his horse?
Yeah.
Well, Mama says if you approach that statue from a certain angle, it looks just...
Okay. Farmer's idea. Come in.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Meredith.
All set for the poker game tonight, Meredith?
You bet I am, George. I've been reading up on the game till I've become an expert.
Oh, good, good.
Which type of poker will we play, auction or contract?
You read up on bridge. You better forget about playing poker and stick to playing the flute.
Oh, I've just about given up the flute. My lip's not as strong as it used to be.
Your mind's not getting any stronger either.
Well, please let me play poker, George. Dr. Miller, the psychiatrist, says that I should mingle with you fellas. He says that my association with Gracie's club has been bad for me. They made me an honorary woman, you know.
I know.
Well, Dr. Miller says if I'm not careful, I'll develop a split personality.
Oh, my goodness, Meredith. Let's not split your personality.
Oh, no. There's simply enough, there's barely enough as it is. I think it's better this way.
Oh, the phone's ringing in the den. Excuse me, boys. I'll go answer it.
Why, certainly. Meredith, now let me explain the difference between poker and bridge. You see, there are 50... Oh, there's our Texas friend, Mr. Judson. Stick around and meet this guy, Meredith. He's got $24 million in oil wells.
Isn't that a messy place to hide it?
He wraps it in wax paper. Come in.
Howdy, Mr. Burns.
Oh, hello, Mr. Judson. I'd like you to meet our friend, Meredith Wilson.
I'm glad to meet you, Mr. Judson.
Right pleased to make your acquaintance, Wilson. You from Texas?
No, sir. I'm from Iowa.
Iowa. Is that a small town?
No, Iowa's a state, Mr. Judson, has an area of 56,000 square miles.
In Texas, that's a small town.
All set for the poker game tonight, Judson?
Yeah, but I hope you gentlemen don't mind setting a small limit. Say no bet over $100,000.
That's a small limit.
Why, down home, that's a poor folks' game. That's one I play in because I only got $25 million.
I thought it was $24 million.
Yeah, well, I had a little hard luck. My chickens was running loose in the yard looking for worms, and one hen yanked out an extra long worm, and up come another darned oil well.
You call that hard luck?
Got my chickens all dirty.
For $30,000, you can have them clean.
I didn't have any small change.
Well, our poker game is penny ante, Mr. Judson.
Well, here's the book, Meredith. Oh, hello, Mr. Judson.
Howdy, little lady. I was just checking up on the poker game.
Well, I hope you let my husband win a little money tonight.
Don't you worry, ma'am. I'll see that he gets a pot.
Yeah, he's got a pot. Let him get some money.
Oh, I like your sense of humor, ma'am. I'll see you.
And now back to the Burns home, where a red-hot poker game is in session.
The ace bets. That's you, Bill.
Well, I'll bet 2.
Mr. Judson?
I call.
Dr. Miller?
I call.
Meredith?
I bid 2 no trump.
Meredith, once again, let us explain. This is not bridge, it's poker.
Yeah. I raise you, Bill.
I drop. I'm out.
And I raise you, Mr. Burns.
How about you, Meredith?
Oh, I guess I better drop 2. I got 4 kings, but they're all in different suits.
Well, Dr. Miller, I'm going to raise you.
You know, gentlemen, being a psychiatrist gives me a very unfair advantage over you. 12 years of psychiatrics have taught me to interpret the slightest sign. The flick of the eyelash conveys a message to my trained eye. Right now, I know that Mr. Burns is bluffing. Therefore, I call.
Well, all I got is a pair of queens. What do you got, Doctor?
A pair of deuces and a lousy education.
And while George played poker, poor little Gracie sat alone in her room and listened to the wedding of Princess Elizabeth and Lieutenant Mountbatten. Then she fell asleep and started to dream.
Princess Gracie. Princess Gracie.
Yes, Queen Mother.
Hurry with your wedding gown. All England is waiting for your marriage to the lieutenant.
Oh, yes, my handsome lieutenant. Do you approve of him, Mother?
Oh, yes. What an athlete he was in school.
Oh, yes. A fine cricket player.
The best at Eton.
The best at cricket, too.
He's so dashing, so debonair. Here he comes.
Announcing the arrival of the future Prince Consort, toast of all England, idol of the British womanhood, the hero of the Empire, Lieutenant George Montburns.
Are you there?
Oh, Mama, isn't he glorious?
Yes, he looks just like a statue. The top part.
Thank you, Mater. Will you love me always, Princess?
Always. Just like Queen Victoria loved Bull Durham.
That was Prince Albert.
Announcing the arrival of His Excellency, the Prime Minister.
Hello, all. I am Meredith W. Churchill.
Hello. Mother, you know Mr. Churchill.
Oh, yes. He's been in my cabinet for years.
Oh, well, don't worry. I won't tell Father. And Mr. Churchill, this is my betrothed, Lieutenant Montburns.
Fruit, old Pip.
Are you there?
My goodness, Mr. Churchill, that's a big cigar you're smoking.
As a youth, I smoked even bigger ones. But my lip isn't as strong as it used to be.
What brings you here?
Several important personages are waiting to congratulate Your Highness. So I took the liberty of bringing them to your bridal, if you'll pardon the expression, chamber.
Shall we see them, Lieutenant?
Carry on.
Presenting His Excellency, the Ambassador from France.
Bonjour, Madame la Princesse. In France, we have a little verse we always say before a wedding. Je vous dis que potage est plus mou que fromage.
Well, what does that mean?
Soup is softer than cheese.
But that doesn't make sense.
At a wedding, what makes sense? Good show.
Presenting His Excellency, the Ambassador from Texas.
Howdy, little princess. Say, I heard on the radio that you and the lieutenant are going to settle down in Texas.
Oh, but we're not. We're going to live in the palace.
Oh, palace. I thought the fella said Dallas. Well, can't all be lucky. I'll be seeing you.
Droll fellow. Pardon me, Your Highness. I suggest that you refuse to see this next person. He's that bounder, the Earl of Goodwin.
What's he doing here? The burlesque show must have burned down.
I hear he's the biggest chaser in London.
Oh, he makes passes at anything that wears skirts. Why, one foggy day he had quite a tussle with a Scotchman.
Do tell. Oh, well, let's see the blighter.
Presenting his wolf ship, the Earl of Goodwin.
Hiya, Princess, old kid. How's about a kiss?
A kiss? How dare you say such a thing to Her Highness Gracie, the Princess of England?
Well, you should have heard what I said last night to Tassels Latour, the Queen of Quiver.
Rotter.
Hey, Lute, how's about a poker game tonight?
You suggest that I would leave my wife to play poker? You have insulted me. Take that, you cad. Ooh. And that. Ooh. And that.
Oh, no. Please, don't hit me again. Those blows will crush my frail little body. I'll go.
Oh, Lieutenant, I love you. You're so brave and so strong.
Rather.
Princess Gracie, it's almost time for your wedding to Lieutenant Montburns.
The royal carriage waits to take you to Westminster Abbey.
We shan't need it. I shall carry the princess. It's only 14 miles.
Well, what about our 500-pound wedding cake?
I shall carry that, too.
What shall I do with the carriage?
I shall carry the carriage.
How will I get to the wedding?
Hop on.
Oh, Lieutenant, they should have made you a sergeant.
Tally-ho, off to the royal wedding, and then we shall spend our honeymoon in Wales.
Well, wouldn't we be more comfortable in hotels?
I say, that was a jolly one. Come along.
While Gracie dreams of her marriage to Lieutenant Burns, the poker game continues unabated.
I call.
I think I'll be the dummy this hand.
This hand, he says. Meredith, you're ruining the game.
Yeah, we really shouldn't let him play. Poker's a game of skill.
Certainly. It takes science and intelligence.
That's right.
Yeah. By the way, who's the big winner so far?
Meredith.
Let's change the game. That's a good idea, George. How about a little spit in the ocean? Okay by me.
Swell. Can we make it from here?
You'll have to stand on your toes.
Meredith, why don't you drop out and pick some cops?
Yeah, I'd better make it. I know where things are. Deal me out a couple of hands, fellas.
Okay, George. Open along.
Now, guess I better look in the bedroom and see if Gracie got to sleep all right.
Oh, isn't he wonderful, Mother? So brave, so strong, so handsome.
He's a sweet kid. Talking about me in his sleep.
Kiss me again. I love you, Lieutenant.
Lieutenant? Holy motor. Gracie's in love with another man. I've lost her. Hey, fellas, huh? Something terrible has happened.
What is it? What is it now?
I've lost the dearest thing in life.
George, you don't mean...
Yes, Bill. Bill, let me explain. I've lost my wife.
Are you serious, George?
Yes, Dr. Miller. I just heard her talking in her sleep. She's in love with the lieutenant.
I'm sorry I had to drop out of the poker game for a minute, fellas. What's all excitement?
Mr. Burns just lost his wife.
Really? Who won her?
Advise me, Doctor. What shall I do?
Well, let's face it, George. You have been neglecting Gracie.
Yeah, I guess I have.
I suggest that you do a complete about-face. Overwhelm her with love and attention. Show her every kindness. Wait on her hand and foot.
Doc, I'll do it. No lieutenant is going to take my wife away. When Gracie wakes up in the morning, she'll find a new George Burns. Good morning, sweetheart. My precious little wifey awake?
Why, George, you're all dressed. You got up before I did.
Yeah.
Who fixed the furnace?
I fixed it.
Gee, I didn't think you knew where to find it.
Now, you just stay here in bed all comfy, and I'll bring you breakfast to you.
You're bringing me breakfast in bed?
Yeah.
Well, George, you must have lost an awful lot in that poker game.
Well, as a matter of fact, I won $5, and here it is. All for you.
You've given me money?
Sure.
When I didn't even ask for it?
That's right.
Counterfeit, huh?
No, it's real. And from now on, you can have all the money you want. Hey, wait. Why are you getting out of bed?
So you can get in. You're sick.
No, I'm not, sweetheart. I'm just being the kind of husband you've always deserved. And now I'm going to give you a great big kiss.
Why,
There.
George, that one landed on my lips.
Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. You've kissed me on the top of my head so many years that I've developed a bald spot.
By the way, I'll be bringing your breakfast to bed every morning, so you should have a lovely negligee to wear. You know that expensive silk one I told you not to buy?
Yes?
Would you like me to go to the store and get it for you?
No, just go to the closet and get it.
Ah, well, I'm glad you bought it. Nothing's too good for you.
Oh, I wish Mama could be here to listen to this.
Well, let's invite your mother here for a visit. The lovely lady can stay as long as she likes.
George, kiss me again.
It's a pleasure. Was that as good as the last one?
I didn't notice. I just wanted to smell your breath.
Honest, I haven't been drinking. I'm just doing everything I can to show you that I'm a better husband than the lieutenant could be.
The lieutenant?
Yeah. But you talk in your sleep and say that you loved him. Please don't leave me for him.
Well, I couldn't, George. You're the lieutenant.
What?
Well, yes, I dreamed that I was Princess Gracie and you were Lieutenant Mount Burns, and we were so happy. George, where are you going?
To take the negligee back to the store while you fix my breakfast.
Oh, I knew it couldn't last.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With our special guest tonight, the romantic French singer Jean Sablon, yours truly, Toby Reed, Gail Gordon, Hans Conried, Meredith Wilson of the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
Friends have been invited to the Burns house for Thanksgiving dinner today, and Gracie has just finished stuffing the turkey. We find her now relaxing in the living room as she glances through the morning paper.
Is the dinner coming along all right, dear?
Oh, yes, everything except the pumpkin pie. I'm afraid we'll have to do without one.
Why?
Well, I finally got the dough around the pumpkin, but it kept rolling out of the oven.
You're supposed to... Well, never mind. It's too late. What are you reading?
The movie news. Here's an item about Jean Sablon. He's just arrived in Hollywood to make a picture.
Oh, yeah. He's that French crooner.
Mm-hmm. The women are crazy about him.
They go for him, huh?
Oh, yeah, just like Sinatra. You know, Blanche Morton has taken lessons so she can learn to squeal in French.
Sablon must be quite a sensation.
Mm-hmm. And it burns me up. He's not half the singer you are, Sugar Throat.
You really think I'm better?
Why, you can out-sing Jean Sablon with one tonsil tied behind you.
Oh, honey,
Nobody can make a song as believable as you. When you sing Chibaba, Chibaba, Chihuahua, you sound like a Chihuahua.
I guess I'm convincing. Yes.
Your voice is intoxicating, just like wine. Sing for me now, George. Uncork the bottleneck of your throat and pour me out a quart of fermented melody.
Chibaba, Chibaba, Chihuahua, and Chalawa, Cuckalaguma.
Oh, and they want Sablon to make a picture. Well, you're much better.
Chibaba. Come in.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Oh, same to you, Dr. Miller.
Oh, you're joining us for dinner, aren't you, Doctor?
Yes, I thought I'd drop over and see if I could be of any help. Perhaps I can clean and dress the turkey.
Oh, no, thanks. He's clean, and I don't see any point in dressing him. We'd only have to undress him to eat him.
Yes, of course.
George and I were just talking about Jean Sablon. We can't understand why he's a more popular singer than George.
George sing?
Like a nightingale.
Well, I'd like to hear you, George.
Oh, I've got an idea. I'll play this record of Jean Sablon, and then George will sing, and you can compare them.
Wonderful. Have you studied voice, George?
No, it's just a natural talent, Doctor. I've sung practically all my life.
Well, haven't you even studied breathing?
No, he's done that practically all his life, too.
I missed 2 years.
Here's Jean Sablon singing Mamselle. Well, there you are. Now, what has he got that George hasn't got? Just a French accent.
That's right.
Dr. Miller, you're a psychiatrist. Why is the French accent so appealing to women?
Well, you see, French is a very romantic language.
Mm-hmm.
It makes everything sound naughty. Suppose a Frenchman said to you,
Allez me chercher un terrain d'eau chaud, je veux tremper mes pieds.
I tell him I was married.
What he said to you was, get me a pan of hot water. I want to soak my feet.
What a language.
Now, you see, George, that's why the women mob Jean Sablon.
Well, George, now I'm waiting to hear you sing.
Okay. Of course, I won't have any accompaniment.
Well, I'll bear in mind that you're singing a cappella.
What's that?
A cappella means without an orchestra.
Oh, I thought that was a Petrillo.
George, sing.
All right.
Ain't misbehaving all by myself. Ain't misbehaving, I'm happy on the shelf.
Oh, Sablon, you fool, go back to France.
The scram, toot sweet.
Well, Dr. Miller, analyze that. Why don't people mob George?
You mean to say they don't?
Well, no, and I can't understand it. Why isn't he as popular as Jean Sablon?
Yeah, how come?
Well, of course, this is more pathological than psychological, but I would say that you're retarded by a status arytenoideus coupled with a laryngeal cachexia and augmented by a diaphragmatic flexidity, rendering a severe trauma to the acoustical organs.
What does that mean?
Your voice stinks.
Well, I'm not limbered up yet. Get a load of this.
From time to time and every climb, blessings come from above to summon in to others' pain. Why, come in.
Look, Burns, as I know you have to kill a turkey to eat it, but do you have to choke the poor thing?
Nobody's choking a turkey.
No, Bill, George was singing for Dr. Miller.
Doc, you want to wind up in one of your own straitjackets?
I didn't realize the full extent of my request.
Now, the two of you stop teasing George. I'll bet if he were in Jean Sablon's picture, he'd steal it right from under him.
Well, there's no use daydreaming. It'll never happen.
Well, why not? I'll invite Mr. Sablon to have Thanksgiving dinner with us.
Yes, swell. Then after dinner, I'll sing for him.
Well, that'll be a fair exchange, George. You'll give him the cranberry, and he'll give you the raspberry.
Oh, quiet. Gracie, go get Sablon.
Yes?
Oh, hello, Mr. Sablon.
Voici une jolie demoiselle, très chic, très charmante, très belle.
Now, if you want to soak your feet, get your own hot water. You can't fool me with that sexy-sounding French.
What I do not understand, I said you were a beautiful little lady.
Oh, you really think so?
Yes.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll be glad to get you hot water.
Please, I do not wish to soak my feet.
Oh, all right.
Won't you come in, Miss?
Mrs. Burns.
Oh, you are married.
Yes, to George Burns.
I'm very sorry.
Well, it's the best I could do. Oh, you mean you're sorry I'm not single?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. Mr. Sablon, I'd like you to meet my husband and hear him sing. Could you join us for Thanksgiving dinner?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
Oh, please. In your honor, I'll serve the turkey with French dressing. Even the green salad will be French. I'll make it with Paris greens. How about it?
Well, it sounds very tempting, but I have already accepted an invitation to dine with my friend Charles Boyer.
Charles Boyer?
Yes, so I will dine with him, and you will dine with your husband.
Oh, you wouldn't like to trade, would you?
No.
But you've just got to come over and hear my husband sing.
Well, some other time, perhaps. Today I am lonely for the companionship of another Frenchman.
Oh, I see. Another Frenchman. Uh-huh. Didn't I tell you my husband was French?
No.
Oh, well, I'll fix that right now. My husband is French. He was born and raised in Paris.
Oh, Paris? Which quarter?
Which quarter? All of them. Now, will you come and hear him sing?
No, really, I can't. Mr. Boyer is having a guest I'm most anxious to meet. He was a hero of the French underground during the war.
Oh, I see. A hero. Well, didn't I tell you my husband was an underground hero?
No?
Well, we'll fix that right now. He was an underground hero.
Under the gold?
No, under the ground. What a hero.
But Mr. Boyer's guest spent 5 years in the French underground. They call him the Avenger.
Well, my husband was underground even longer. They called him the Gopher. Won't you come and listen to him sing?
All right. I drove by on my way to Boyer's. But I can't stay for dinner.
Well, at least you can meet our friends and have an appetizer.
I enjoy that. Are you having pâté de foie gras?
No, but if you give me her number, I'll call her. The more the merrier.
No, pâté is a sausage.
Well, we all can't have good figures. Now, here's our address, Mr. Sablon. See you in a half hour.
Au revoir, madame. Je vous remercie de votre charmante invitation.
Oh, your feet still bothering you, huh?
Yes, they are killing me. I'll see you later.
Jean Sablon is really coming by to Henry's thing.
Yes, George. And I'm sure he'll put you in his picture.
Ain't misbehaving all by myself.
Oh, by the way, George, to get him to come over, I had to tell him you were French. So be sure to sing in French.
But I only know one French word. Oui.
Well, throw that in. Singing, misbehaving all by my we.
I don't think it'll fool him.
Well, don't you know any other French?
Bonjour.
Oh. Well, can't you work that into a song?
Oh, sure. I'll sing I came from Alabama with a banjo on my neck. I better stick to English.
Well, at least use a French accent.
Okay, I'll use an accent. I wish you wouldn't make up these stories about me. I don't like the idea of...
Oh, here he is. Come in.
Bonjour, madame. Oh, cet homme doit être votre mari, le soldat qui a une conduite magnifique en France.
Oh, still didn't get to soak your feet, huh?
Now, this man must be your husband.
Oh, yes. This is my husband, George Burns.
Bonjour. Is the pleasure?
The pleasure is mine, Mr. Burns. It is a real honor to meet the gopher.
George, I smell the turkey burning. Run into the kitchen and turn the fire down quick.
Okay. Excuse the moment. Gopher?
Well?
Madame Burns, are you sure your husband is a Frenchman?
Oh, yes. He's as French as Pierre's pig. You believe he was in the underground, don't you?
Yes, but why did you dig him up?
Gracie, the turkey was not burning.
Oh. Now, Mr. Sablon is ready to hear you sing, dear. Give him the best you've got.
Oui.
Oh, you can do better than that.
That was the door buzzer.
Oh, Finn.
Howdy, little lady.
Oh, hello, Mr. Judson.
Howdy, Burns.
Hello.
Sounds like you picked up a cold in the head.
Oh, no, he's all right. Mr. Judson, I'd like you to meet Jean Sablon.
Right happy to meet you, Johnny.
Mr. Sablon, this is our friend from Texas, Mr. Judson.
Oh, I'm charmed, Monsieur Judson.
I can't quite place that accent. You must be from a part of Texas I ain't visited.
Mr. Sablon is from France.
Is that near Waco?
No, France is in Europe.
Europe? Well, now, that just goes to show how big Texas is. You know, I never even heard of that county. Say, you in the cattle business, Johnny?
Oh, no, Mr. Judson. This is Jean Sablon, the singer.
Oh, a singer. Well, I'd admire to listen to a piece. Let's hear Deep in the Heart of Texas, Johnny.
Well, I'm sorry, I do not know that song.
Oh, you know, the eyes of Texas are upon you?
No.
On the Alamo?
No.
Can you yodel?
No.
You better get in the cattle business, Johnny.
Well, I'm sure the songs you name are very lovely, but I do know what might please you. It is called
Vous qui passez sans me voir, why do you pass me by?
Okay, let her rip.
Now I am ready to sing the song.
Oh, good. Now listen to this, Mr. Sablon. The George, you're not trying.
That was again the door buzzer.
Oh, come in.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, Burnses.
Oh, same to you, Bill. Do you know Mr. Jean Sablon?
Oh, sure. We met at the studio. Good to see you again, John.
Same to you, Bill. Are you a friend of this talented Frenchman? Who? The hero of France. Who? The gopher.
Oh, George.
Hiya, Goph.
I do not like this calling me the gopher.
Well, I don't blame you, George. Hey, George, your upper plate is loose. As I started to say, I don't blame you, George. Sablon, I dare you to step outside and call him a gopher. You'll get torn to pieces.
By whom?
By the gophers.
Thank you.
Now, boys, no more talking. Mr. Sablon is waiting to hear a song from that glorious entertainer, the male Hildegard.
Well, but Gracie, I'm not prepared.
Yeah, Bill, not...
But I recite almost as well as I sing, so I'll do a little dramatic recitation.
But, Bill, Mr. Sablon came to hear George sing.
Yes, Bill, I want to hear this gallant hero.
Hero?
Monsieur Burns was in the underground.
Underground, huh? You know, I knew lots of people told him to go there, but I didn't think he ever went. Well, happy Turkey Day. So long, Goph.
What is this underground talk?
Why, you...
Oops, I smell the turkey again.
I smell something, too. But isn't that turkey?
Quick, George, to the kitchen.
Stop telling me. Tell her.
Oh, you know, he's so modest he hates to talk about his war experiences.
Madame Burns, are you sure your husband was in the underground?
Oh, yes, he has a medal from the French government.
Well, I find that hard to believe.
Why?
For in France, when a man gets a medal, the general kisses him. Now I ask you, who would kiss the gopher?
Oh, so you don't think a French general would present him with a medal, huh? Well, you just wait right here. Now, have you got everything straight, Meredith?
I think so, Gracie. I'm a French general who has a medal for George.
Yes.
Now, I'll use this medal of mine for the presentation.
Wonderful.
Oh, what French general shall I be?
Oh, the most famous one you can think of. Now, count to 10 and come in. Sorry I had to leave you for a moment, Mr. Sablon. Where's George?
He is still in the kitchen.
Oh, good.
Hello, all. Allow me to introduce myself. I am that famous French general, Meredith W. Napoleon. I have come to present la medal to la gallant son of la belle France, George La Burns.
I'm his wife. I'll take it. Goodbye.
Now, 1 minute, please. You are Napoleon?
Yeah. Pretty famous, huh?
Oh, very famous indeed. Tell me, how is Josephine?
Josephine who?
Josephine Bonaparte.
I don't believe I've met her.
She's your wife.
Oh, her. Oh, she's fine, thanks.
Well, I'm so glad to hear it. Could you give me any news of Waterloo?
Oh, she's fine, too. Well, here's the medal.
Now, let me see it, please. This medal says to Meredith Wilson, 4th place in the Mason City, Iowa Corn Shucking Contest.
Following year, I won 3rd place.
I say the turkey is cooked.
And so is your goose.
Huh?
Mr. Burns, you are not a Frenchman.
Okay, I'm tired of pretending anyhow. It was all Gracie's idea. She said if you thought I was French, you'd like my voice better.
No, not at all. I will be happy to judge your voice on its own merit.
Well, that's fair enough. Get a load of this.
Oh, whoa, 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 down in the garden where the red rose grows. Oh, oh, I love you so. Love me like a flower. Don't you dare to holler. Lordy, come and learn that. Well, how do you like it?
Sir, you should have a medal. The highest honor of France, la Légion d'honneur.
Oh, how wonderful.
Any man who is brave enough to sing with a voice like yours deserves it.
Well, Gracie, next week our guest star will be the groaner himself, Bing Crosby.
Oh, yes, what a duel of voices that'll be. Bing Crosby versus Sugar Throat Burns. Don't show him up too badly, George.
Might make the kid jealous, huh?
Oh, when Crosby hears you sing, he'll turn green.
You think so?
Naturally. When you sing, everybody turns green.
Chababa, chababa, chihuahua.
Oh, you dog.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. But our special guest tonight, Bing Crosby, yours truly, Toby Reed, Gail Gordon, Hans Conried, Henry Blair, Meredith Wilson, and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
Well, as we look in at the Burns home today, we find Gracie in urgent consultation with her next-door neighbor, Dr. Miller, the psychiatrist.
You know, it's George I'm worried about, Dr. Miller. He's in the other room right now, so we can talk about it.
Well, what seems to be the trouble with George?
Well...
And if I call you Buttercup, the dandelions would eat you up. So buy a ring and change your name to mine.
Was that George?
Yes.
Mrs. Burns, I'm only a psychiatrist. That man needs a physician. He's suffering.
Oh, no, he was singing. And that's what I'm worried about.
And with very good reason.
You see, George has a complex about Bing Crosby. He broods because Bing got all the singing jobs he should have had.
I see. He feels that Crosby has usurped his rightful glory.
And it's true. Who's the most popular man in show business today? Bing Crosby. And how did he get there? Over my husband's dead tonsils.
What do you mean, Gracie?
Bing Crosby has kept George from singing.
Small wonder he's very popular in show business. How did Bing accomplish this endearing feat?
Oh, well, it all started back in 1932 when George and I worked in a picture with Bing, the big broadcast. Now, George was supposed to sing, but someone opened the windows in his dressing room and he caught cold. So Bing got the song.
I see.
Now, mind you, I don't say it was Bing who opened those windows, but draw your own conclusion.
Well, Mrs. Burns, Bing Crosby is a very fine and a very intelligent man. Therefore, I think it's safe to assume he did open the window.
I knew it. That's how he kept George's voice out of pictures. Then came radio. In 1935, the Kraft program went on the air. They wanted a voice that would sell cheese, so George auditioned.
What happened?
Well, Mr. Kraft himself said that George Burns has the cheesiest voice in America. What? Did he get the program? No, Crosby got it. Politics.
You really believe your husband is good, huh?
Oh, to my mind, George Burns is the greatest singer of all time. Go, Dr. Miller. I wish you could fix everyone's mind so they think like me.
Unfortunately, by my oath as a psychiatrist, I have sworn to do just the opposite. However, your husband's complex is a very real condition, and we must help him.
Well, how can we do that?
By building up his ego. We must flatter him until his faith in himself is restored and he once more sings every day at his fullest power. Then he'll be happy, you'll be happy, and I'll keep my windows closed.
I hear him staring around, so we'll try it out now.
Well, Gracie, Oh, Dr. Miller. Hello, George. Gracie and I were just saying what a beautiful singing voice you have.
Really? Well, sit down, Doc. I'll sing you 14 or 15 numbers. From time to time,
I just remember I have a patient waiting for me.
Doc,
some other time, George.
From time to time. Nobody ever listens to me. Crosby is the one they want to hear.
Oh, Pooh Crosby. You're twice the singer he is.
I know, but he's the one they want to hear.
I can't understand why. All he ever sings is White Christmas. If they ever change the color of Christmas, he's through.
I can't get over the way he cut me out of the picture in the big broadcast of 1932.
Well, the same thing happened in 1933 when we made college humor with him. He sang the hit song, Learn to Croon.
Learn to croon if you want to win my heart's desire.
They shouldn't have let Crosby mess that song up. They should have let you do it.
You're right.
And then Down the Old Ox Road was in the same picture and Bing grabbed that one, too.
Down the old ox road. Oh, you'll never find out where it is by looking in my eye.
That was meant for you. Nobody could go down the old ox road but the old ox himself.
Well, I guess I was robbed.
And it kept up. In 1934, we made We're Not Dressing, and one of the hit tunes was Love Thy Neighbor. Again, they let Crosby mangle it instead of you.
Love thy neighbor.
Oh, what a voice. You know, I've got an idea.
Step up and say how do you.
Oh, that's beautiful, dear. Now, my idea...
Gee, but it's good to see you, pal.
Lovely. My idea...
Oh, trick.
My idea...
What's new?
Oh, that's not the one you do. You'll never get the record.
I heard something new. Yes, I don't know what it was.
You'll never get the recognition you deserve as long as Bing is around. My idea is to get him to retire.
Well, how could you get Bing to retire?
Well, I'll make him think he's getting too old to work. And then you can take over.
But, Gracie, if I take over Crosby's work, what will happen to the work I do now?
What work do you do now?
Well, I take care of, I do all the, I'm the one who... Go see Crosby.
Sonny, is your father Bing Crosby at home? Sure, come on in. Thank you.
Hops is getting cleaned up. He's been playing football with us kids. He was Notre Dame and we were Southern California.
Oh, who won?
Well, let's put it this way. It was a terrible upset.
I see.
What are you going to talk to Pop about?
Well, I'm going to see if I can get him to retire.
What's that?
Oh, well, when a man retires, he just plays golf and goes fishing and hunting and doesn't worry about work.
Gee, Pop's been retired for years.
I want him to retire even more. I want him to stop singing so that my husband can become the country's favorite singer.
Oh, well, I'll go get him. You wait right here, Mrs. Sinatra.
Well, if Bing plays football with his sons, he must be in pretty good condition. Or really have to lay it on thick to talk him into retiring.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope... Why, Gracie, how are you?
Oh, I'm afraid the little boy made a mistake. I wanted to see his father, not his grandfather.
Grandfather?
Yes. Haven't you got a son named Bing?
No, we got him by just about any other name, though.
Well, hobble back to your rocking chair, old timer. I want to talk to Bing Crosby, the singer.
Gracie, don't you recognize me? Where the blue of the night meets the gold of the day.
Bing! Why, it's you! Oh, you poor man. Here, lean on my shoulder.
Now, what is this old age routine? You wouldn't be giving me the needle, would you?
Well, gladly. Where's the adrenaline?
Do I really look that bad?
Well, Bing, I don't know now. I don't want to worry you, but you know that last picture you made with Barry Fitzgerald?
Yeah?
Well, it wasn't until you sang that I knew which one was you.
Gracie, surely you're jesting.
No, Bing. You're driving yourself too hard. Besides movies, you're a radio actor, and that must tire you out.
Well, the radio program doesn't tire me so much, but I do get a bit burst delivering those large filters, the big sets. The television they have.
Yeah.
We've got the 1201. And
I know.
The portable item, but the big set.
Yeah. Well, Bing, there's only one thing for you to do.
Yeah?
You've got to retire before it's too late.
Oh, that word retire. There's a lovely ring to it. Wouldn't it be wonderful if I could? Then I wouldn't have to care how I dress.
You mean you do now?
These little ensembles are chosen by my tailor, a man with impeccable taste, but deaf.
Huh? He can't see too well either.
No, but there's no use dreaming, Gracie. How can I retire? I have contracts, commitments.
Well, that's where I can help you, Bill. Now, look, I have a singer who could step right into your shoes. He sounds enough like you to be your brother.
Really?
Yes. You take over your jobs and your money.
That is my brother.
Now, then, this is someone else, a beautiful singer.
Cary Grant.
No.
Dick Haynes.
No?
Don't tell me it's, F-R-A-N-T.
Oh, no.
Forgive me for spelling, but I don't want the children to learn that word. Now, get up, Gracie. Who is this singer you've groomed to take my place?
My husband, the Beverly Hills Nightingale, Sugar Throat Burns.
I didn't know he could sing.
Oh, yes.
Really?
That big, handsome brute is 110 pounds of solid talent.
Well, this I must see and hear.
Well, get your hat and we'll go see him right now.
Good. Oh, Dennis.
Yes, Pop?
Run and fetch my red suede bowler with the green feather, will you? Tell your mother I'll be gone for an hour or so.
Oh, gee, Pop, we wanted you to play Cowboys and Indians with us.
Sorry, laddie boy. This time you'll have to scalp your mother. Come along, Gracie.
Oh, yes, Sonny. It's too late to scalp your father. Well, I have some good news, George. Bing has agreed to retire and let you take over his career.
Really, Bing? Well, I have the matter under consideration. Gracie tells me that you bleat a beautiful batch of baritones.
Well, I do have the type voice that makes women swoon.
Oh, don't be so modest. When you sing, even men sing. Now, I'll leave you two alone to talk business, huh? Excuse me.
Certainly, Gracie. George, now, if you take over my chores, just what percentage of my weekly stipend would you figure to latch on to?
Well, roughly 95%.
Smooth that out a little.
Well, we'll see. How do you get paid, Bing?
Well, my weekly check is sent to my brother Everett, who deducts 10% as agent fee. He then passes it to brother Larry, who deducts another 10%. What for? Well, he's my brother Everett's agent.
See.
Now, Larry, he now laterals the check to my brother Barney, who deducts 15%.
What's he?
He's Larry's business manager. And Barney then kicks the tattered remnants of the check to the home team, where Dixie makes a nice running over-the-shoulder catch, removes the fast 40%, and cuts up the rest with the four boys.
Well, Bing, how do you get your hands on any money?
Well, fortunately, my youngest boy isn't too hep on the fight racket. I managed to trip him for an occasional buck by getting him to place a small wager against Joe Lewis.
What a system.
If Joe ever has a bad night, there goes my mad money.
Well, money isn't important to me, Bing. I'll take over your program for free.
One thing that worries me, George, now suppose I decided to come out of retirement someday. If you're as good as Gracie says, I'll never get my program back.
Yeah, you're right. Tell you what, Bing. I won't say my best. I'll hold back.
Hold back, huh? Well, that's mighty decent of you to hold back. By the way, I'm anxious to hear you croon. You going to give me a short touch of some of your mellow stuff?
Okay, Bing.
Oh, birds are sweetly singing, and perfume flowers are bringing them, the wind is going out, it's passing by.
Well, Bing, don't hold back quite so much.
Did you get all the details settled?
Gracie, I'm not so sure I should retire.
What?
Well, I just put the Erie on Sugar Throat here. Boy's a little granulated.
How can you say that? But George was a sensation even back in Vaudeville.
This boy wowed them in the old 2 a day?
Oh, the audiences loved him. Well, they used to bring their lunches and share them with George.
Really?
But when he started to sing, they'd throw the food on the stage.
That's right, Bing.
You see, Bing, ordinary singers like you can handle notes like A and E and G, but just sings notes that aren't even in the scale.
Makes them up himself, huh? Oh, great.
Well, it's true, George. According to Paul Weissman, you once hit an L.
An L?
Yes. You hit a high note, and Weissman said, that note sounds...
I remember. May surprise you a little, Gracie, but I hit the same note myself for him. Very note.
Ah, you're bragging.
You don't think I can, huh? Well, you just get George to grab a fistful of the white keys over there in that piano, and I'll prove a point to you. Bing, that was beautiful. You know, Gracie, I'm not better than Bing.
You're not?
He's just as good as I am. Come in. Hi, Burns.
Hello.
Well, Bing. Oh, hi, Bill boy. This is Dave.
You two seem to know one another.
Why, everyone knows this ladies' man. Metro may have its Leo the Lion, but Paramount we have Willie the Wolf. Well, Bing and I used to live next door to one another. But Bill moved away. When we had 4 boys, he saw there was no future. Now, Bill, listen, you're an old trusted friend of mine. I should certainly treasure your advice. Yeah? Would you really tell me the truth now? Do you think I should retire? Oh, no, Bing, you can't retire. You and I are the number 1 and number 2 attractions at Paramount. If you retire, who'll fill the number 2 spot? Now,
that reminds me, Bing, if you retire, George will not only replace you on the radio, but in pictures.
What? You want George to replace Bing in pictures?
Well, why not? You look pretty good in there beside Bob Hope.
Besides Hope, anybody looks good.
And George is a wonderful actor, too. You wait right here and I'll go get his press clippings.
You may go now. If you have the repeat broadcast, you can straighten these things out. In the morning and do it again. Hope she brings back the right clipping. Well, I haven't counted on taking over your picture work, Bing, but I guess I can handle it. What picture are you shooting right now? Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. Oh, Bing. Yeah? If anybody replaces you in that picture, it should be me. You feel it? Yes, I'm a natural for that chivalry stuff. You know, women think of me as a knight. They do? Oh, sure. Every time I take a girl home from a date, she says, what a knight. Oh. Now, look, believe me, Bing. I would be sensational in that King Arthur picture. Now, get this speech, boy. H.L. The knights are all sitting at the round table, polishing their armor. Hey, look, Bill, if anybody replaces Bing in the Connecticut Yankee, it'll be me. Well, okay, George, but that'll be the first time a Connecticut Yank was ever played by a California jerk. So long, Bing. Oh, you know, George, my vision of retirement grows dimmer by the moment. Well, Bing, you... Oh, here comes Gracie. Well, Gracie, what about my press clipping?
Oh, I found them.
Well?
I read them.
Well?
I burned them.
Well, good.
But they weren't fair to him, Bing. He's really a fine actor. He can express tender love in a way that melts the heart. You can express sheer horror in a way that chills the blood, don't you?
Come closer to me. Close.
Oh, horrible. Oh, I can't stand it.
That was tender love.
Oh.
I'm surprised, yeah. You know, Luella might differ with me, but I don't think this kid is quite ready for pictures.
Oh, look. Here comes our friend, Mr. Judson. We'll ask his opinion about you retiring.
Who's that?
Oh, a big oil millionaire from Texas. Come in.
Howdy, little lady. Howdy, Burns.
Hello, Mr.
Hello,
Judson.
Mr. Judson.
Oh, I'd like you to meet our friend, Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby? Hey, I'm proud to shake your hand. I admire your singing. I admire your acting. You're a mighty celebrated man. Thank you, sir. What part of Texas you from? Now, I'm not a Texan. Oh, now you must be kidding. A famous man like you just can't be a foreigner. However, I hail from the happy little hamlet of Spokane, Washington. Now, where at is that? That's about 1,000 miles due north. Oh, doggone, that's hard luck. Just over the Texas border.
Mr. Judson, we'd like your opinion on something. Do you think Bing Crosby should retire?
Well, would you like to, Bing? Well, it wouldn't be bad to settle down to a little serious golf. No, that sounds right good. Doctor out here advised me to take up that game for my health, so I went and bought myself 3 golf clubs. Only 3? Which clubs did you buy? Lakeside, Hillcrest, and the Hollywood Country Club. I believe you have. Well, that's a good beginning. Yeah. Now, say, if you do retire, Bing, I'd admire to have you visit me on my ranch. Of course, it ain't much as ranches go in Texas. How big a patch of ground you got? Well, I don't rightly know. I sent some fellas out to survey it 10 years ago, and they ain't done yet. Sounds a bit cramped, don't it? Yeah, but I got some real fine horses on it. Say, seems to me like I read you used to own some horses yourself. Well, it's always been a moot question. I can only say they went by that name. They had 4 legs. Some of them, that is. Yeah. Well, now, I guarantee you'd like these cow ponies of mine.
Cow ponies?
Yeah.
Well, what a wonderful combination. You can ride them and milk them, too.
Come on, Bing, let's have a decision. Are you going to retire and let me take over your career?
Well, George, in all fairness, I haven't heard you sing at your best. You rascal, you held back on me, you know.
Well, I'll give you another sample.
Okay. This time don't thin it out now. Lay it on to me to full depth.
Oh, yes, Judge. Pull the trigger on the shotgun of your throat and let the bullet melody blast Bing right into retirement.
Okay. Boom, 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 down in the gun where the red rose goes, my heart goes, mine, I love you, you love me like a flower, and don't get a holler, the Lord, they call me rain, the red rose red. Well, what do you say, Bing?
Oh, that does it. I'm going right home and get my golf club.
You're going to retire?
No, I'm going to burn the clubs. I've got work to do.
I can't believe that Crosby turned me down. I feel awful.
Oh, don't you fret, Throat. You're still going to take over Bing Crosby's career.
If you'd like to back that opinion, Free will get you fired.
Well, Bing, you'll have to retire someday, maybe 50 or 60 years from now, but Doc will be waiting.
50 or 60 years. Let's see, that'd place Sugar Throat well over the century mark. Think he can capture the public's fancy at such a ripe old age?
Why not? Al Jolson did it.
That's right. I forgot about Al. I'll see you in about 50 or 60 years, George.
That's today, Bing. Boom, 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 down in the golden river.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Toby Reed, Doris Singleton, Hans Conried, Gail Gordon, Meredith Wilson, and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
The breakfast dishes have been cleared away in the Burns home, and George and Gracie are now discussing the party which they attended last night.
It was a nice party, wasn't it, dear?
Yeah, quite a sociable.
Were you proud of the way I looked?
I'll say I was. I checked over the rest of the women, and not one of them could touch you. You had the youngest and prettiest face of anybody there.
Somebody had a better figure, huh?
No, that was the best, too. You had the slimmest waist and the cutest legs.
Big feet, huh?
No, they were absolutely the tiniest feet at the party.
Dishpan hands, huh?
Smoothest hands of any woman there.
You held hands with the other women, huh?
Gracie, you know I didn't. I never even looked at another woman.
Getting old, huh?
107 Tuesday.
I was only fooling, dear. I do appreciate the nice things you said about me.
Oh, good.
And I have something nice to say, too.
Good.
I checked over the rest of the men at the party, and I was so glad I was married to you.
Well, thanks, sweetheart.
You know, it's such a comfort to know that you have a husband that no other woman will try to steal.
I threw that thanks in too soon.
You know, I'm glad you got to sing at the party.
Me too. But I thought they'd never ask me. I kept hinting for hours.
I know.
Funny the way it finally happened. Somebody switched off the lights, and then a guy said, "How about a song from Burns?" I didn't recognize the voice, but I'd sure like to shake his hand.
Shake, dear.
Oh, it was you.
Well, I didn't want those people to miss your golden voice.
You think they liked it?
Oh, yes, George. You make a song so believable. When you sang Bongo, 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 I Don't Want to Leave the Congo, they took up a collection to send you back.
I'll throw a few bars at you. Oh, bongo, 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 I don't want to leave the Congo. No, 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 no. Oh, bongo, bongo. Oh, bongo, bongo.
You know, you shouldn't be trapped by civilization. You belong in a tree.
Say, wasn't that a strange accident that happened when I started my second number? I didn't see how the host could be so careless.
Oh, me either. Imagine setting fire to his own piano.
Pretty clumsy.
Say, you know who really had a good time at the party?
Who?
Bill Goodwin.
Oh, what a Romeo that guy is. The way the girls throw themselves at him.
Yeah, and the way he never ducks. But he kissed every girl at the party.
Bill's a red-blooded he-man.
Oh, pooh. You'd have red blood, too, if you swallowed as much lipstick as he does.
Diet wouldn't hurt, you know. He certainly had a better time than poor Meredith Wilson.
Oh, yeah, Meredith is so shy. You know, I heard his girl tell him that she wanted a pet.
Yeah?
He went out and got her a dog.
That's a smart kid.
Come in.
Well, good morning, Burnses.
Oh, hi,
Hello.
Bill. We were just talking about you.
Yes, you were quite the ladies' man at the party.
Oh, I know, Gracie, but I'm getting kind of tired of it. Always the same old line. Your eyes are like stars. Your hair is like spun gold. You're built like $1 million.
I guess you do get tired of saying that.
Oh, no, I get tired of hearing it.
Oh, they say it to him. They say a little switch there, yes.
Well, you seem to be enjoying kissing the girls last night.
Well, I don't mind playing a little post office, Gracie, but with me, every day is the Christmas mailing rush.
Bashful. Doing something. Bashful Willie, they call him.
Well, George is pretty sensational at those kissing games, too.
I am?
Well, you must be. When you walked in last night, the girl said, "Here comes George Burns. Get a load of that kisser."
Wonder how they meant that.
Oh, look, here comes
Didn't get
Meredith
an
up the wall.
What? Oh, Meredith? Oh, yeah, that poor guy didn't get anywhere with his girl last night.
Don't be too sure, George. When he left the party, I told him to go up on Mulholland Drive and park.
Come in.
Hello.
Hello, Meredith.
Hello, Mayor. Say, kid, did you drive up on Mulholland and park last night like I told you?
Yes, I did, Bill. The minute I took my date home, I rushed right up there.
You went alone?
I was supposed to take someone.
I'll see you later.
Certainly you were supposed to take someone. That's what makes it fun.
Really?
Well, sure.
Would you care to accompany me tonight, George?
I'm busy.
Meredith, look, you don't get the idea. It's no fun to park with a man.
It is, too.
Gracie, don't confuse the poor guy.
You know, no, I think it's time somebody had a talk with Meredith.
Okay, sit down, Meredith, and let a man of the world tell you a few things.
And, George, you listen to what Bill says, too.
Bill?
Come in.
Is Bill Goodwin here? Oh, there you are, Billy, baby. It was cold sitting out in your car all alone.
Oh, well, come on in and get warm. Folks, I want you to meet the one and only, the girl I'm engaged to marry, the little lady who's stolen my heart. My fiancée, Miss, what's your name again, kid?
Hotchkiss.
Oh, yes, Hotchkiss, yeah.
You don't know your fiancée's name?
Well, who can remember that many names?
Oh, Bill.
Now, don't feel bad, kid. I've got your name in this book where I list all my fiancés. Here, I'll show you. Let's see, Holst, Hoover, Harpo, Hopkins, Horton, Hostetter. Here it is, Hotchkiss. What's your first name, kid?
Juanita.
Juanita L. or Juanita W?
Juanita W.
Well, you see, here's your name. It's right on the record, so if anything ever happens to me, you'll get your ring back.
What a man.
Well, I have to drive downtown. You stay here and get warm, Juanita. I'll pick you up later.
Yeah, drop me at the cigar store, will you, Bill?
Okay, George. Well, goodbye, Gracie.
Goodbye.
So long,
Oh,
Meredith.
but Bill. Oh, gee, the way he treats me, I think I'll throw myself at the first man I see. Any man. I don't care if he's the dumbest rip in town.
Miss Hotchkiss, permit me to introduce Meredith Wilson.
I'm pleased to meet you.
Say, you're kind of cute.
Meredith, here's your chance to overcome your shyness with girls. I'll leave you two alone.
What do we do?
Well, maybe Miss Hotchkiss would like to dance.
Would you like to dance, Miss Hotchkiss?
Yes.
Very well. I'll play the piano for you.
Worried by Meredith's continued bashfulness around girls, Gracie has gone to consult with her next-door neighbor, Dr. Miller, the psychiatrist.
You know, he's really a pitiful case, Dr. Miller. Girls just frighten him to death.
They actually terrify him.
Oh, you should see the way they make him blush. He gets so red that I'm afraid the Senate will investigate him.
Tell me, Gracie, just what he does in the presence of a woman.
Well, say he's in our living room with the girl right now. I can see them through this window.
Good. Give me a full report, and I'll take notes. What are they doing?
Well, the girl is on the sofa. She beckons to Meredith. Now he's on the sofa.
Go on.
The girl touches his hand.
Yes.
Now he's under the sofa.
How Freud would love this. Please continue.
He crawls out and accidentally brushes against her.
Well?
Now he's on top of the bookcase.
What a shame to waste all that energy. Go on, please.
The girl takes a step toward him, and he grabs the statue to defend himself.
Yeah?
Uh-oh, he's fainted.
He fainted?
Yes, the statue he grabbed was Venus de Milo.
That's enough, Gracie. As it is, my colleagues will accuse me of inventing him.
What's wrong with the poor man, Dr. Miller? Why doesn't he like girls?
Well, Gracie, in psychiatric terminology, I'd say that a fundamental introversion, coupled with manic trepidation, has set up an aberrant form of obverse fetishism, which renders him devoid of the basic amatory responses.
What does that mean?
He's a schmo. However, I can help him if he's willing to submit to hypnotism.
Hypnotism?
Yes, under hypnotic control, the power of suggestion will make him a bold and fearless lover.
Oh, you really think it'd help?
Years ago, I used that treatment on a man who was even more shy and timid than Meredith.
Did it work?
That man was Errol Flynn.
Oh, all right, I'm convinced. Let's go hypnotize Meredith. Juanita, can we borrow Meredith for just a moment?
Honey, you can keep him. I want no part of this kid.
I'm no kid. I was born in 1912.
Really? When did you die?
Step into the next room, Meredith.
Meredith, Dr. Miller would like to put you to sleep.
Very well. I'll run home and get my nightshirt.
That won't be necessary, Meredith. I'm going to hypnotize you.
Oh? Will it take long?
Well, that depends on the strength of the subject's mind. The stronger the mind, the longer it takes to bring on sleep.
All right. Let's try it. Meredith, you're growing sleepy. I rather expected that. Meredith, when you awaken, you will have lost your fear of women. You'll be a Don Juan, a Casanova, a fiery, impetuous wolf. Now, awaken.
Well, Meredith, how do you feel?
Great, babe. Let's neck. You see?
Oh, how wonderful it worked.
Say, I'm tired of waiting. Tell Bill Goodwin
Hey, you're a cute chick. How's about a smooch?
Did that come out of him?
You said it, sugar. Lift the lips and latch on.
Okay. I'm confused, but game. Wow, what a kiss.
I haven't played the flute 20 years for nothing.
And I thought Bill Goodwin was a wolf.
Oh, not compared to Meredith. Bill just has pointed ears. Meredith's whole head comes to a point.
Yeah, I'm sharp.
Well, Juanita, here's your lover boy. I bet you've been crying your eyes out for your big, handsome daddy.
Blow, blabbermouth.
Huh?
Get lost. Meredith is my big moment now.
What? Juanita, you can't be serious. Look at me, baby. It's me. Irresistible Bill.
Whoever said you were irresistible?
I did.
But come on, Juanita. Let's leave this panty waist and head for Mulholland Drive.
Coming, big boy.
Juanita!
One side, slow freight. I'm taking the super cheap.
Meredith, I'm the champ. A schnook like you can't do this to me.
I just did it.
Gee, now I know how Joe Louis felt. Wait for me.
Well, Gracie, satisfied with Meredith's improvement?
Well, it was marvelous, Dr. Miller. Tell me, can you do that to anyone?
Oh, I think so. Do you know someone else who needs the treatment?
No, I'm married to her.
You mean George has become less attentive? The flame of romance has burned low?
There's nothing left but clinkers.
Why, surely there must be some romance left in the man. Doesn't he ever ask you to put your arms around him?
Only when he wants me to button his suspenders.
I see.
And he never kisses me anymore.
Well, perhaps he would if you pop it up and gave him a hint.
Well, I doubt it.
Hello, honey. Oh, hiya, Doctor.
George, would you like me to put my arms around you?
Why, my suspenders unbuttoned?
Now, you see, Doctor?
Hint for the kiss.
Look, George, my lips are all puckered up. Does that give you an idea?
Yeah. Going right in the kitchen and get some of those dill pickles. I'll bring you one, Doc. Oh, Bungo.
Well, you see, Doctor, please give him the treatment.
Wait here, I'll speak to him, Grace. George, I'm in an awkward spot.
Really, Doc? Have a pickle.
Thank you. George, your wife wants me to place you under hypnosis and transform you into an impetuous wolf.
She does?
Yes, but I don't dare. At your age, that could be fatal.
Doc, I'm going to teach Gracie a lesson. Have another pickle.
Thank you.
She thinks she'd like to be married to an impetuous wolf, huh? All right, I'll be one. I'm going to chase her for 24 hours a day. I'm going to smother her with kisses. I'm going to hug her till she screams. I'm going to...
Yes?
I'm tired already.
George, the way to teach Gracie a lesson is to make her think you're chasing someone else.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. I'll pretend to be hypnotized, disappear for a couple hours, and then we'll make up some wild stories about what I did while I was a wolf.
Exactly. We can get Bill Goodwin to help us. He's got some true life stories that'll curl her hair.
Wonderful. Have another pickle, Doc.
Thanks. There's only one thing, George. It's
It's going to take some real acting on your part to fool Gracie.
You think so?
Oh, sure. A hypnotized person has a very peculiar expression on his face.
Yes,
Yeah, sure. The eyes have a glassy, vacant stare.
See.
The mouth hangs open stupidly. The face loses all... Oh, run along, George. You'll fool her beautifully.
Give me back the pickle.
Now, have you got it straight, Bill? We want Gracie to think that I have hypnotized George and turned him into a irrepressible wolf.
Are you sure you mean that, Professor?
Yes, it's a good one.
Well, Bill,
Yes.
you make up a story about me. That's what he means.
Okay, George.
See, a big story.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, let me see. Oh, I'll tell Gracie that you were running down Hollywood Boulevard with 100 women chasing you.
Is that enough women?
Yeah.
Okay. But, Bill, what about me? Willie, you're supposed to make Gracie think I'm an irresistible wolf.
Oh.
See, Bill. Look, Bill, just tell Gracie I went to a burlesque show. That'll worry her.
Yeah.
Then I'll come in and act like a wolf.
Okay.
How does a wolf act?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you. Come bounding up the walk, burst in the door, leap to Gracie's side, pick her up in your arms, and let out a howl.
Well, that's what I do, huh?
Well, in your case, crawl in and moan. Hey, Gracie, I just saw George.
Oh, thank goodness, Bill. You know, Dr. Miller turned him into a wolf, and he's been gone for hours.
Well, he's at the burlesque show.
The burlesque show? Oh, that's terrible.
Sure.
That cheap candy might make him sick.
Gracie, it's worse than you think. The last I saw George, he was surrounded by 27. Count 'em. 27 chorus girls. He was hugging them and kissing them. And...
That does it. Hugging and kissing, was he? Well, I'm going to get my hat and coat and go right down there.
Oh, it's no use, Gracie. You can't stop it.
I don't want to stop it. I just want to get in on it.
Oh, I see. Well, here comes George up the walk now.
Well, it's about time. You go out the back way, Bill. I've got a few things to say to that little old gray wolf.
Yeah, okay, Gracie. I'll see you later.
27 chorus girls.
Hiya, baby. Got any raw meat in the icebox? I'm hungry.
George, I don't like you this way. Did you really go to that awful burlesque show?
Yep. Then I headed for Mulholland Drive. But the car wouldn't make the hill.
Why not?
27 chorus girls, quite a load. I even put ethyl in the gas tank.
You were crowded.
Oh, yes, quite a crowd. Girls piled on my lap, 60. I beat them off, but they climbed right back again.
Oh, George, you shouldn't do that.
I'm too brutal, huh?
No, too brittle.
Well, kid, now you know what it is to be married to an irresistible lover. A guy who's loaded with sex appeal.
Oh, I wish I'd never heard of hypnotism.
Well...
Come in.
Howdy, little lady.
Oh, hello, Mr. Judson.
Say, you sound depressed, little lady. Something wrong?
Well, yes, there is. My husband has got too much sex appeal. He's so irresistible that he fascinates all the women.
Why, I didn't know he was from Texas.
Mr. Judson.
Now, in that case, he ain't to blame. Us Texans is just natural born ladies' men. We ain't only got the know-how, we got the do-how.
Mr. Judson...
Now, it ain't his fault if the women stampede all over him. Why, the gal's even got a saying, nobody necks us that don't come from Texas.
But, please, Mr. Judson...
Well, now, I don't like to see you unhappy, little lady, but in this case, I gotta side with your husband. He can't help being a lady killer. He's handsome, he's virile, he's from Texas.
But he's not from Texas.
He ain't from Texas?
No.
You mean this dried-up little squirt is stepping out on you?
Wait a minute. You think you're a ladies' man just because you're from Texas. They wouldn't look at you if you didn't have money.
Money? Well, I only got a piddling $26 million.
I thought it was $25 million.
Yeah, well, we had a little trouble down home. The kids was playing football in my backyard. Well, my youngest boy went to kick a goal, stubbed his toe on the ground so hard he broke the topsoil, and up come another darned oil well.
You call that trouble?
He missed the goal.
Did he play with USC Saturday? from Texas, but I'm still an irresistible wolf.
He's right, Mr. Judson. Now he'll probably go out and chase more girls.
Little lady, if he does that, you ought to string him up.
Why should I help him on with his corset?
Help him on with... Oh, I like your sense of humor, man. I'll be seeing you.
Well, Gracie, I'm going out to do some hooting and howling. Those 27 chorus girls are waiting for me, you know.
Dear, if that hypnotism would only wear off and you'd get back to normal.
Not a chance. So long, kid.
Well, at least kiss me goodbye.
Okay. Here's my red hot special.
Oh, thank goodness you're back to normal.
Normal, huh? Well, how come you still got your arms around me?
Well, your suspenders need buttoning.
Oh, fine.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Toby Reed, Hans Conried, Gail Gordon, Meredith Wilson of the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
Well, George put off his Christmas shopping until this week, and then he was caught in that final frantic stampede of women shoppers and almost trampled to death. We find him now seeking refuge in the corner cigar store where he meets Bill Goodwin.
Hi, George.
Oh, hello, Bill.
Hey, you look kind of rumpled.
I am, Bill. Bunch of women shoppers knocked me down and walked on me.
Holy smoke, I'll say they did. Why, look at your poor face where they stepped on it. It's all battered and beaten. What a horrible mess.
They didn't touch my face.
Oh,
yeah. I dread going back to that store, but I gotta get Gracie's Christmas present. I'm already in the doghouse with her.
How come?
Oh, a little slip of the tongue, Bill. This morning, Gracie said, I'd like to have Mother here for Christmas. Can she fly down? And I said, why not? I never saw an old crow that couldn't.
George, I'm surprised you don't get along with Gracie's mother. You're the same type, the same temperament, same age.
Very comical tonight, Willie. Well, anyway, I wouldn't send her plane fare.
Well, how does Gracie's mother feel about you?
She despises me.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes. She's never come right out and said so. It's just the little things she's done.
Mm-hmm.
Little poison in my soup. Little dynamite under the bed. Just the little things.
Little things.
Yes. But when you put them together, they spell drop dead.
I see.
So that's why I'm knocking myself out to get this Christmas present for Gracie. But after I fight my way to the counter, the girl ignores me.
Oh, well, I can get that girl to wait on you, George. I've dated her.
You don't even know what store I was in.
Makes no difference. If she's a girl, I've dated her.
Well, thanks, Romeo, but I'll handle it myself. This time I'm going to assert myself. I'll knock those women right and left. I'll fight my way to the counter, grab the clerk by the neck, and say, now, see here. I want a Christmas present for my wife. So get busy and sell me,
what's the matter?
I forgot to find out what Gracie wanted. Gracie.
Yes, dear?
What would you like for Christmas this year?
Well, George, I don't want to just come right out and tell you. That would take all the fun out of it.
Well, how else can I find out what you want?
Well, I've written some clues for you.
Clues?
Yes. You can guess it from those. Now, here's your first clue. Read it.
First for Santa Claus. Second for me. My eyes are blue. My initial is G. Bring me a present, large, not small, and I'll say Happy New Year in the summer. Well, what is this, truth or consequences?
Well, George, you felt so bad about not guessing Miss Hush. And this'll sort of give you another chance.
Look, just tell me what you want for Christmas and stop making yourself for Ralph Edwards.
Oh, Oh, but this is much more fun.
Oh, all right. If it means so much to you, I'll play your game.
Good.
Now, let's see. First for Santa Claus, second for me. Dancer is first, Prancer is second. The Prancer could be a horse. You want a horse for Christmas?
Oh, what would I do with a horse?
Well, you're always banging up the fenders, and if you had a horse, you wouldn't have to drive the car.
Oh, that's silly. A horse couldn't drive a car.
Oh, skip it. So I missed the first guess.
Yeah, that'll cost you 50 cents.
50 cents?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Every time you guess wrong, you drop 50 cents in this bowl for charity.
What charity?
Oh, a very worthy one, George. It's for a poor mother who's expecting.
Oh, well, that sounds like a worthy cause. Okay, here's my 50 cents.
Thank you, dear. Now try again and guess what I want for Christmas.
Let's see. Bring me a present, large, not small, and I'll say Happy New Year in the summer.
Well, think, Judge. Concentrate.
Say, I think the Chinese celebrate New Year in the summer. Now, let's see. Chinese.
No, I don't want chop suey.
Hey, Gracie.
That'll be another 50 cents.
Honey.
Honey's wrong, too. Another 50 cents.
Nuts.
Wrong again. It's $1.50 you owe the bowl.
Oh, well, it's for charity.
There you are. Glad I'm using this punch bowl. Looks like I'll fill it.
At the rate you're going, you'll fill the Rose Bowl. Come in.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Meredith. Say, Mayor, maybe you could help me. Gracie has written down on this piece of paper what she wants for Christmas.
Really? As a boy, I used to write down what I wanted and mail it to Santa Claus at the North Pole. Of course, now I'm older and wiser.
Oh, of course.
Now I just go to the nearest department store and hand it to him in person. I'll be glad to hand him your letter, Gracie.
That won't be necessary, Meredith. No. This is something Gracie wants me to give.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, would you be interested in hearing what my Uncle Tobias gives my Aunt Tilly for Christmas?
No, Meredith.
Well, sir, every year my Uncle Tobias gives my Aunt Tilly a lock of his hair, and she gives him a lock of her hair. They've done that now for 20 years.
Oh, how sweet.
This year he's giving her a wig, and she's giving him a toupee.
Meredith, I'm not interested in your uncle. I'm trying to find out what Gracie wants for Christmas, and she's put it in the form of a riddle.
Oh, I see. Read it to me, George.
First for Santa Claus, second for me. My eyes are blue, my initial is G. Bring me a present, large, not small, and I'll say Happy New Year in the summer.
Well, that's quite simple.
You figured it out?
Certainly. She wants Martha Graham for Christmas.
Oh, that's what she wants. You want stockings for Christmas?
No. Drop another 50 cents in the bowl.
Purse?
No.
Gloves?
Suede gloves?
Yeah.
Brown suede gloves?
Yeah.
Hand-stitched?
Yes.
No.
Gracie, I can't guess what you want for Christmas from this silly clue.
All right, I'll give you the next clue.
Good, let's hear it.
Roses are red, water is wet, Truman is president, and how have you been?
That's the clue.
Yes.
Let's go back to the first one.
No, George, work on it. I'll leave you alone so you can concentrate.
Concentrate my foot. Take this clue next door to Dr. Miller. Only a psychiatrist can figure this out.
Oh, hello, George.
Doc, I want to read you something.
Very well.
Roses are red, water is wet, Truman is president, and how have you been? What does that mean to you?
Means you came to me just in time. You're cracking up.
No. I didn't write it. Gracie wrote it.
Oh.
It's supposed to tell me what Gracie wants for Christmas. Does it tell you anything?
Definitely. Tells me Gracie needs something for the house.
What?
Padded walls.
I hope that you could look at this clue and tell me what she wanted.
Well, I could, George, if I understood how her mind worked. But to determine that, I'd have to psychoanalyze her.
Okay, Doc. I've got to find out what this clue means. Every time I guess wrong, it costs me 50 cents. So I'll probably save money even with your fee.
Why, I wouldn't accept a fee to psychoanalyze Gracie.
Why not?
For a psychiatrist to get into her mind, be like a burglar getting into Fort Knox.
I see what you mean.
Send her right over.
Now then, Mrs. Burns, just lie down on this couch here and relax completely.
Thank you, Doctor.
First, just a few general questions. How old are you?
I'd rather not say.
Mrs. Burns, I'm a doctor. You can tell me anything. Now, how old are you?
19.
19?
You said I could tell you anything.
I mean, if you tell me your age, I won't let it go any further.
Oh.
Now, how old are you?
19.
Still 19.
I'm not letting it go any further either.
Mrs. Burns, how long have you been married?
15 years.
Then if you're 19 years old, you were married when you were 4.
Oh, Doctor, you've got me trapped. I see I'll have to tell the truth.
Good. Now, how old are you?
20.
Let's skip your age and go on to the next question. Do you have any disturbing dreams, especially dreams that recur again and again?
Oh, yes. Every night for a long time I dreamed that the Iceman came and put 2 50-pound cakes of ice in the middle of my back.
Very interesting. I must attempt a solution.
Oh, I solved it.
How?
Well, I made George sleep with his socks on.
Yes, I see. Well, now, Mrs. Burns, I'd like to give you a simple little test which will enable me to analyze your thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is called a word association test.
Oh, and how does it work?
Now, I will say a word, and that word will suggest something to you. Whatever it is, you say it.
I say whatever I think of.
Right.
Left.
I hadn't started yet. Now, here we go. Picture.
Frame.
Powder.
Pup.
Telephone.
Thank you. Hello?
Now, what does the telephone suggest?
Nothing. Nobody's on the wire.
Mrs. Burns, the telephone did not ring. When I said telephone, you should have said something like Alexander Graham Bell.
I see.
Let's proceed. Army.
Navy.
Soldiers.
Sailors.
Wax.
Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
Wax made you think of Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
They sell it.
I was referring to WACS.
So was I, Johnson's.
Let's proceed. Bing Crosby.
Singing.
Spencer Tracy.
Acting.
Charles Boyer. Charles Boyer.
Oh, no. You don't trick me into that one. I see you're taking notes.
So
my husband can read.
Let's proceed. Hello? Oh, yes, Grace is right here. Telephone.
Alexander Graham Bell.
That was your husband.
No, I'm married to George Burns.
That'll be enough for the word association test. Now, suppose we delve into your childhood memories. Your family life. Was it happy and normal?
Oh, yes. Every morning, bright and early, the sun would come streaming through the kitchen windows and wake us up. We'd jump out of bed.
Wait a minute, Gracie. Your family slept in the kitchen?
Well, certainly. Where did you expect them to sleep?
In the bedroom. Stupid of me, wasn't it?
We couldn't sleep in the bedroom. That's where we did our cooking.
You cooked in the bedroom. Why?
Because it was upstairs.
Why did you cook upstairs?
To keep the smell of food away from the kitchen where we slept.
That'll be enough of your normal childhood memory. Now let us try the mental coordination test. See if you can place these square pegs and round pegs in their proper holes.
completed the psychoanalysis of your wife.
Swell, Doc.
Oh, yeah. First, I gave her the Binet-Simon intelligence quotient test. Then I traced her mental processes with the word association test. Then I gave her the Bechterew-Mendel reflex test, the Rorschach ink blot test, applied the factors of heredity and environment, and I knew her mind like a book.
Wonderful.
I then applied this knowledge to the clue she'd given you, and I was able to make a guess as to what she wanted for Christmas.
Well?
Where do I drop my 50 cents?
Gracie, I'll never find out the present you want from these clues. What have I given you for other Christmases?
Well, the first year we were married, you gave me a string with one pearl on it. You said that every year you'd add to it.
And I have, too. Say, maybe that's it. You want me to add to it again?
Oh, no, you better not. The string is so long now, I keep stepping on the pearl.
Well, that was no help.
Now, I better give you another clue.
Yes, a clue and some aspirin.
Yes, I won't be a minute, dear.
Okay, dear. Please, come in.
Hi, George. Say, did you get Gracie's present?
No, Bill, I can't find out what she wants. If you were Gracie, what would you like for Christmas?
Oh, not a thing, George. Gee, I'd feel that I'd received life's supreme gift when I got wonderful, handsome, talented, generous you.
Bill, you haven't said anything that nice to me for a long time.
No, not since last Christmas.
Oh, I get it, Bill. You don't have to hinder me. Don't we always exchange presents?
Well, I always exchange yours.
You don't like the cigars I've been sending you?
Is that what they were?
Yes. That's what they were. Every Christmas, I give you and Meredith each a box of those cigars. They're 2 for $1.
Oh, they're robbing you, George. You shouldn't pay more than 10 cents a box.
We'll try it again next week.
George, here comes that big oil millionaire from Texas.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Judson.
Yeah.
Come in.
Howdy, Burns.
Oh, hello, Mr. Judson. You know Bill Goodwin.
Oh, sure. You bet I do. I reckon I'll be moseying. So long, partner.
So long, Tex. Mr. Judson, maybe you can help me. I can't find out what my wife wants for Christmas.
Well, now, I'm having the same trouble. I know my wife wants a string of beads, but I don't know what kind.
Well, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to get a 4-string. Rubies, emeralds, sapphires, and diamonds, and she can throw away the 3 she don't want.
Well, you can afford that. You've got $26 million.
No, that's $27 million. Yep. You see, we had a little hard luck down home. Grandpa was out in the yard rocking in his rocking chair. He reared back a mite too far. The rocker dug in the ground, and up come another darned oil well.
You call that hard luck?
Well, Grandpa'll never get that stuff out of his beard.
Tough break for Grandpa, wasn't it?
George?
Yes?
George, I've got another clue. Oh, hello, Mr. Judson.
Howdy, little lady. Say, your husband tells me he's having trouble guessing what you want for Christmas.
Yes, he is. He even guessed that I wanted a horse.
Well, now, that wouldn't be bad. You could bring him down to Texas and ride him on my range.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. If the gas was on, he'd burn his feet.
Your sense of humor, man.
Well, George, I've prepared another clue for you.
Does this one give me a real hint?
Well, read it and see.
Use your brain. Don't be a goat. Why not ask me if I'd like a mink coat?
How's that for a hint?
So that's it. You want a mink coat for Christmas?
Can I have one?
No.
That isn't it, then. Drop another 50 cents in the bowl.
Now, wait a minute. That's a cheat. This clue can't mean anything but a mink coat.
Yes, it can. Now, here, I'll help you. Now, look at the second line. Don't be a goat. Now, what do goats give?
Milk.
And, what do they make out of goat's milk?
Cheese.
Well?
You want goat cheese for Christmas?
Drop another 50 cents in the bowl.
Gracie.
Now, that's $1 you owe the punch bowl, Joe.
Oh, all right. What charity did you say this was for?
Oh, poor mother who's expecting.
Oh, a mother's expecting. Okay.
Now, don't give up. Let's take the first line of the clue. Use your brain. Where is my brain?
That's tougher than what do you want for Christmas?
I'm trying to help you. Where is my brain?
In your head.
And what do I wear on my head?
A hat. Oh, that's it. Of course you want a hat.
Drop
another 50 cents in the bowl.
Thank you. Now, let's take the third line of the clue.
Wait a minute. You going to help me again?
Yes.
It's easier that way.
Oh, you're getting discouraged.
I'm getting discouraged, yes.
Well, let me see how much money is in the bowl. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, $28. Never mind, dear. You needn't make any more guesses.
Well, hallelujah. Now tell me, what do you want for Christmas?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, just get me anything at all.
Then why did we go through this guessing routine?
Well, so I could get this $28 to send to my mother.
It's your mother who's expecting?
Yeah, she's expecting to visit this year in her plane.
Her plane? She's got to give me her plane fare.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is George Burns. The old flu bug that's going around got Gracie today, and at the last minute, she couldn't make it to the studio. It was too late to rewrite the script, but a very dear friend of ours has stepped in and offered to read Gracie's lines. She's a very famous and talented movie star. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jane Wyman. Okay, Janie, from now on, you're Gracie. Take it.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Toby Reed, Hans Conried, Gail Gordon, Henry Blair, Meredith Wilson, and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For your Christmas night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
Well, it's Christmas morning as we look in at the Burns house, and George and Gracie are making their plans for the day.
George, let's invite all our friends over this afternoon.
Okay, Gracie.
I can make some turkey sandwiches and coffee. George, we'll have an open house.
Swell, and then I'll pass around my cigars.
Oh, but George, I can't open the house that much.
Are you inferring that my cigars are strong?
Well, remember last Christmas when poor Meredith Wilson smoked one?
Yeah.
Well, he turned so green, everyone hung tinsel on him.
Well, I'll have Meredith go easy. Who else shall we invite?
Well, Dr. Miller's wife is visiting her mother, so let's be sure and invite him, and then Bill Goodwin and Mr. Judson the Texan.
Well, do you think a guy with Judson's millions will be happy with turkey sandwiches and my cigars?
Oh, he's one man who loves your cigars. He says the cowboys use them in Texas.
Really?
Yeah. Only he says instead of cutting them up into cigars, they just leave them in one long piece of rope.
I say. Well, let's call on Mr. Judson first. I think he's at the Ambassador Hotel, isn't he?
Yes, he has 7, 8, 9, and 10.
He's got 4 rooms?
No, 4 floors.
Yes, I forgot he's broke. Come, let's go.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Judson.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Well, now, the same to you.
Did Santa Claus come to see you last night?
Yeah. I reckon by now old Santa's heading back to his home in Texas.
I think the old boy is supposed to live at the North Pole.
Santa Claus don't live in Texas?
No.
Well, now, that sure is mighty unfair.
Unfair?
Well, he's so nice to everyone, and look what a dirty deal he got.
Yes, it was rough on the old boy.
Mr. Judson, we'd like for you to come over and spend Christmas with us.
Well, now, I'd be delighted. Are you sure you want me?
Well, if you don't come, we'll be dismayed. want us to pick you up later?
No. You don't have to bother. I'll drive over in the old bus.
What kind do you drive?
A regular Greyhound bus.
You own a Greyhound bus?
Yeah. Well, now, I got on it one day, and the driver didn't have change of a $10,000 bill, so I bought the bus.
Well, let's go over and invite Bill Goodwin, Gracie. See you at the house, Mr. Judson.
Yes, and don't do anything fancy, Mr. Judson. Just this nice little quiet get-together.
Oh, that will be nice. We can sit around and swap yarns.
Oh, do you like to knit?
Do I like... Oh, I like your sense of humor, ma'am. I'll be seeing you.
Oh, I wonder if Meredith is at home.
Oh, yeah, he's there. I can hear him tootling on that silly flute.
Well, Merry Christmas, all.
Oh, Happy New Year, all.
Oh, we're having open house this afternoon, Meredith. Will you come over?
Oh, you bet I will. Can I bring Fifi?
Fifi? It's, who threw that at me? Who's Fifi?
Well, a young lady from Paris, France, with whom I had a date last night. That's who.
Is that
What an evening.
What'd you do?
Well, knowing she was French, I played her some Ravel and Gounod.
Oh, I bet those French games are fun.
Gracie, they're composers. I played Fifi 17 selections on the flute.
Yeah? What an evening.
Well, it was only... I want to say there was only one disturbing element.
What's that? I hear it.
Now and then, Fifi would look at me and say, "Kel jerk."
And that disturbed you?
Yes. I don't understand French, and I was afraid the word "kel" might mean something uncomplimentary.
No, Meredith, it means what? She was saying, what a jerk.
Oh, thanks, Gracie. That takes quite a load off my mind.
Being called a jerk doesn't bother you?
Not at all, George. Jerk must be a term of endearment. All my friends call me that.
Well, it's the same as spunky, yes.
Yeah.
Well, Meredith, you're really a case. You played 17 songs on the flute, and you didn't even give Fifi one kiss.
Oh, yes, I did, George. The 11th number I played was one kiss from the operetta New Moon.
Be there at 12. The sociable will be over at 11.
Goodbye, all.
Goodbye, all.
Oh, George, I'd better hurry home and get things ready for our open house.
Okay, Gracie, and I'll go and invite Dr. Miller.
Why, I'd be delighted to come to your open house, George.
Well, swell, Doctor. How about your little son?
Oh, Bobby will be quite content to stay home alone. Won't you, Bobby?
Indeed, I will, Daddy. Anything you say, sir.
Say, Doc, you really got the little fella trained.
George, I'm a psychiatrist. You know, my wife used to spank him until her hand was blistered. It did absolutely no good. Then along I came with a book on child psychology.
That did it, huh?
Oh, yes. When I spanked him with that book, he straightened right out.
Psychology is great if you can lift it.
Daddy, can I play with my electric train now?
Oh, why, of course, son. George, you're about to witness the practical application of psychology to the choice of a child's Christmas present.
What do you mean?
The assembling and operating of this train will teach Bobby many valuable lessons.
Really?
Yeah, now observe. Putting the tracks together will teach him how to work with his hands. See the sections of track, they fit into one another like... Bobby, get your hands off Daddy's putting tracks together.
Yes, sir.
I was saying, this teaches him to work with his hands.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that, Doc. Yes.
Now, the next step is to put the cars together. Here, Bobby learns the lesson of observation. Which car comes first?
I think the engine comes first like this, and then
Son, you want to break things? Daddy will put the cars together.
Yeah, kid, take it easy. You'll wear yourself out.
Now I'll start the train. And here comes Bobby's lesson in coordination, George. He must figure out which way to throw the switch in order to send the train through the tunnel instead of crashing into those freight cars.
Well, that's easy. I just throw the switch this way.
Bobby, you please keep your hands off your nice new toy? I'll throw the switch. There.
But, Daddy, that's the wrong way.
Well, no, your father's a great deal older and wiser than you are, son.
I know, but Daddy...
Son, I'm trying to teach you something. Now, pay attention.
What's the use? You give a child a nice toy, the first thing he does is break it up.
And now back to the Burns home with George and Gracie, played by Miss Jane Wyman.
Well, George, our guest should be arriving pretty soon.
Yeah, you know, Gracie, I wish I had presents hanging on the tree for them.
Oh, don't worry about that. A glorious song from you will be their present, Sugar Throat.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun.
When you sing, you're the perfect Christmas present.
You think so?
Oh, everyone thinks so. The other night at that party when you sang, I heard 15 people say that you should be hanging from a tree.
I'll have to think that one over.
As soon as everyone gets here, I'll ask you to sing.
Yeah, but be kind of subtle about it, Gracie. Lead into it from the conversation.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, for example, we know that Dr. Miller is going to talk about psychoanalyzing people, so have a lead-in ready off of that.
Oh, I get it. If he's talking about his patients, I'll say, oh, speaking of being crazy, would you like to hear George sing?
I think we can be more subtle than that. Now, he's sure to talk about dreams, so you say, speaking of dreams, George sings like one.
Oh, George, how brilliant. Well, you're smart enough for two people.
I have to be. Now, Mr. Judson will talk about Texas, so you say, speaking of glorious Texas, reminds me of my husband's glorious voice.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Now, and getting a music cue for Meredith is even easier. All you have to do is suggest that he play the flute, and he'll blow his brains out.
Well, how does that get you to sing?
Well, while he's getting his flute out of the case, you quick suggest that I sing first.
Oh, yes. I'll say, wait till you've heard George sing and then blow your brains out.
You just ask him to play the flute, and I'll take it from there.
Quiet, everybody. Quiet. Look, let's have some entertainment. Meredith, would you play the flute?
Oh, I'd be glad to, Gracie, but I left it at home.
Oh, well, that's too bad, Meredith. But we can have some other entertainment.
Oh, very well. I'll regale you with stories of Mason City, Iowa.
I don't want to be regaled.
Every Christmas, Mason City has what is called the Mason City Corn Festival. This is held in Mason City.
Well, you'll regale us later.
Yes. Well, sir, again and again, I was chosen to represent the spirit of corn.
They couldn't have made a better choice.
Thank you. Well, I stood in the center of the stage with my arms outstretched, holding an ear in each hand.
Oh, my goodness, that must have stretched them terribly.
Yeah, too bad they didn't snap back.
Still, they weren't the same ears you see now. Oh, they were ears of corn. And on my shoulders, I had a pumpkin.
Well, that's the same one we see now. Chris, I'd like to see you in the next room for a moment. Excuse us, folks. Meredith will never stop talking about Mason City, so you'd better take your cue from Mr. Judson. Remember the one we rigged up for him?
Well, you better tell me again.
Okay. First, we get him to say something about Texas. Then you say, speaking of glorious Texas, reminds me of my husband's glorious voice. How about a song from George? Got it?
Got it.
So do it.
Yeah, there we were.
Oh, Mr. Judson.
Say, little lady, I just had an idea. How about a song from George?
Oh, speaking of a song from George, reminds me of glorious Texas.
No. Glorious Texas is right. Now, you sit down, and I'll tell you all about it.
Gracie, step in the next room for a moment.
Why, down there in Texas,
Well, you certainly fixed that one up good. He says, how about a song, and you say that reminds me of Texas.
Well, I'm sorry, George. All of a sudden, I just went into reverse.
Well, go back to Judson and use the right gear shift. Your cue is speaking of glorious Texas.
Well, now, don't worry. I'll do it this time.
I hope so.
And down there, they've got all...
Mr. Judson.
Yeah, little lady?
Is Texas really as glorious as you say it is?
Why, it's a paradise. The Texas sky is just as beautiful and blue as your lovely eyes.
Oh, speaking of my...
I said our sky is as lovely as your eyes.
You really think my eyes are lovely?
I sure do.
Gracie, speaking of glorious Texas.
Oh, speaking of glorious Texas, how about my hair?
Well, that's mighty pretty, too. Like the gold of a Texas sunset.
Gracie.
Ever happen to notice my complexion?
Yeah, it's as soft as the petals of a Texas prairie flower.
Step in the next room for a moment. Again, you messed me up. Things like this wouldn't happen if you were a sane, sensible woman like Janie Wyman.
Oh, now she's no smarter than I am.
Well, this time I'll give my own cue.
How?
When we go back, you ask me how I used to celebrate Christmas when I was a boy. I'll take it from there.
All right.
Yeah,
You having a good time, everybody?
Oh, we certainly are.
Oh, that's nice. Now, George, how did you celebrate Christmas when you were a boy?
Well, when I was a boy, I was very poor. But on Christmas Day, we used to get together, and I would sing a song that went something like this. Oh, heart of my heart, I love you.
That's a mighty fine note.
Say.
Let's get up a quartet and have a little close harmony.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Wonderful.
Well, okay. That's better than nothing. I'll tell you what
I'll
think
sing
of.
bass.
I'll sing baritone. I'll sing first tenor.
I'll sing second tenor.
Well, that's the whole quartet. What'll I do?
Well, you hit us a chord on the piano.
Oh, no. Well, we're doing great. The quartet has sung 10 numbers, and I haven't opened my mouth.
Oh, well, we're not licked, George. You had a wonderful idea to lead into a song from Dr. Miller's conversation.
Oh, yeah. That's the one where you get him to talk about dreams, and then you say, speaking of dreams, George sings like one.
Oh, that's simple. A dummy could handle that.
Well, start handling.
Rolling bones, the rolling bones, the rolling on the square. The rolling on the sidewalk, the streets are everywhere.
Step Mellinger and King. Look, Gracie has something to ask Dr. Miller.
Well, yes, Gracie?
I love to hear about your psychiatry cases. Have your patients had any dreams lately?
Oh, yes. One of them had a horrible nightmare.
Oh, speaking of horrible nightmares, George sings like one.
Step into the next room for a moment. Well, you did it again.
Well, I meant to say dream, George, but I opened my mouth and nightmare popped out.
That's happened many times in your life. Well, we've got one more chance, Bill Goodman. Well, you fix that one, too.
You want to see me in the next room, huh?
This time I want to see Meredith. Meredith.
Me, George?
Yes, step into the next room, man.
Very well.
Look, Meredith, maybe you can help me. You're an agreeable sort of a schmo.
Or, as the French would say, quel schmo.
Oui. Yeah. Now, go back there, hit a chord on the piano, and say, how about a song from the talented member of the Burns family, George?
Oh, I'll be glad to.
Good, let's do it.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, now, how about a song from that talented member of the Burns family?
Yeah. Let's have a song from Gracie.
Oh, Gracie.
Oh, well, thank you, but I'm really not prepared. George.
Yes, Gracie. You want me to do something?
Yes, run get my music.
You don't need music, Gracie. Sing that song you did for us last Christmas when Irish Eyes are smiling.
Well, all right, Bill.
Oh, say, that was right pretty, little lady. Now sing that song about Texas. Sure, a little bit of heaven fell from out the sky one day.
That's Irish, Mr. Judson. Sing another Irish song, Gracie.
Yeah, how about Kathleen Mavorny?
Yeah, Rose of Tralee.
Lakes of Killarney. Or The Wearing of the Green.
My mother came from Ireland.
Would anybody like to hear Cohen owes me $97? Cohen owes me $97.
Oh, shut up, George.
Cohen owes me $97.
Gracie, sing a number.
Cohen.
Shut up.
Okay, that's the way. Well, where did George go?
If Cohen owes him $97, he went to collect.
Oh, Bill. George's feelings are hurt, and it's your fault. Every one of you.
Well, every one of us. Well, what did we do?
Well, you wouldn't let him sing. You've broken his heart on Christmas Day. Now he's in there all alone with his little wrinkles filled with tears.
Yeah, he's probably bawling like a fresh weaned calf.
Let's call him back in and persuade him to sing.
Sure, that's the least we can do.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll call him.
George, everybody wants to hear you sing. Won't you come back?
You really want to hear me, fellas?
Yeah, George. Go ahead. Sing a song.
Well, okay, give me a chord, Meredith.
From time to time and every climb,
Isn't that a beautiful voice? And you wouldn't give him a chance to sing. Go ahead, George.
From time to time and every
all
climb.
Of you. You don't know good music when you hear it. Go ahead, George.
From time to time and every
George,
climb.
we're really sorry we were so rude. Go ahead.
From time to time and every...
It was right thoughtless of us not to let you sing. Now, you go right ahead.
And I just dare anyone to stop you. Lay it on us, George.
From time to time and every climb.
Sing your heart's content.
Are you all through complimenting me? Can I finish my song now?
Go ahead.
From time to time and every climb, blessings come from above.
Who?
To some of them.
Oh, hey, everybody, it's Toby Reed.
Invite him over, Gracie. Yeah, he can sing in our quartet.
Toby's got a swell voice.
And more the merrier.
Having a wonderful Christmas party. Yes, everybody's here. Oh, Mr. Judson and Dr. Miller and Bill and Meredith. Oh, no, Mother Judson. Just the way you are. Okay.
Janie, I don't know how to thank you. It was just wonderful of you to step in at the last minute and read Gracie's line.
Well, it was a pleasure to do it, George, and I hope the old devil flu leaves Gracie real soon. Get up, Gracie, so we can see you New Year's Eve.
Good night, Janie, and thanks again. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'll be right home, Cookie.